Ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Okie okie. Do 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 do. Oh, no. Stuff to do, man. I've got to get to it. La la la. God, these thumbnails crack me up, man. Honestly, I really do. It's a really funny ones in here. Like creepy blinder. The creepy blinder fun. The creepy blinder thumbnails are hilarious. Shall I use one today? The creepy blinders. Where's creepy? I want one with his face on it though, because I put his face on it. Pretty funny, man. I can't find it. Who's it? Oh, I can't find it. Alright, this not miss. Alright, let's Gandhi? Gandhi one. Let's put Gandhi in there. Let's put Gandhi in. Trigger some globe tart. Bit of time. Oh, done. Fine, buddy. That's too easy. Right, let's check the chat. See what's happening. Yo, what's up, Finn? Big shout out to Finn in the house. Big shout out to Finn. Forever love. Yeah, I'm just sorting out the title and stuff, guys. Dirt Wizard, Lev, Finn, Dr. E, Honor. Welcome in, guys. Forever love, big shout, honour, yeah, everybody. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Been a bit of a crazy one, right? How you doing, Fent? Lots of work watching banners on the banner technician. Yeah, I know. I've got to sort out the technical side of this stream because it's absolutely sucks. This computer, as I said, it's like it still runs on petrol. This thing, this stuff thing's got a fucking engine, a 10cc engine. So it's like from 2012, I think. This PC, it's like an i3 or an i5. That's how terrible my PC is. That's why it struggles a lot, guys. It's nothing. Boots on the ground would be melted then. Oh, you know, I mentioned about the 165 children, little girls that were killed last week. You know, they're on it now. This week they've been really on that. I mean, it was real. It was real, and it was a Tomahawk missile that did it. They've got proof of it. So the US and the Israelis bombing little girls, which is complete. That's a war crime. That's disgusting behaviour, man. It's stuff like that that's just gonna go nope. People are just gonna go nope, absolutely fucking not. You know, I don't know if is it Netanyahu? Is he being taken out? According to the but this is what I mean. The propaganda. This is what I'm talking about. The propaganda coming out of the West, US, is fucking incredible. If you want to get the real story of this war, you've got to go and listen to Chinese, Korean, fucking some other news to get a real, because the difference in reporting is absolutely insane. And you've got Trump saying, "Oh, Iran bombed their own kids." That's what happened. That wasn't a tomahawk, you see. Lots of people. No, the Israel, I think, got tomahawks. The US have got some tomahawks. The Brits might have some, but not Iranians. They haven't got. No, Donald, stop fucking lying out your ass. So is Netanyahu dead? According to China and Korea, they think they might have got this guy. I think we need to be out on the streets dancing, going. Now, I'll just be doing that in my head while I'm walking up the shop in a minute to get some milk. In my head, as I'm walking up there, I'm going to be going. So we got So yeah, this yeah, I know it's dark at the moment, guys. I'll be putting it on in a second. Banner, play Lego Iran War. So yeah, that was true about the 165 kids that we bombed. Well, not the Brits, but USA and Israel. We can put the Brits in there. The Brits are backing, you know, these guys up. We're letting them use our air bases, right, and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, you can't take the Brits away, because the Brits are probably somehow underneath the whole fucking thing sorting this out. You know, that's the thing with the Brits. They put on this thing, yeah, no, we're not involved. No, we're not involved. We let US and the Israelis do that. We're just, no. But, you know, behind closed doors, they're probably pushing this the hardest. So, yeah, they've, some crazy shit's happening right now. Right? It's really kind of crazy. The propaganda, this is what I can't believe the most, is the propaganda coming out from the West and Israel, and they're getting battered. You know, you Israelis out there, you need to wake up. Iran will level your city. They will level it. They will level Israel. But, you know, they've got every right to. You fired first. You was the aggressor. You know, you can't fire on someone that's been thinking about something. Oh, yeah, okay. For the last 25 years, I'm going to think about getting nuclear weapons. Still haven't got them, but I'm thinking about it, because these lunatics over there in white, blue, wearing these funny little caps on their head that think they're the chosen ones, they have these weapons. They could fire on us any time. So I'm thinking about it for 25 years. Still ain't got it. So, okay, let's attack these guys for thinking about something. Let's just attack them and kill 165 kids on the first day by a Tomahawk missile that Trump then tried to deny, and he's been caught out in his lies. So, you know, this is only going one way. And as I'm saying this to you, you're the aggressors, right? You're going to deserve everything you get, Israel. Everything you deserve, you're going to deserve it. 100%. And get rid of those stupid ass caps. And you're not the chosen ones. Chosen ones don't act like this. Chosen ones don't aggressively go into other people's countries and start bombing the fuck out of them, killing 165 kids. How many times do I have to repeat that? 165 kids. Nasty work, man. And now you got these twats, they're crying, oh, we're getting bombed, bomb. What have you been doing to the Palestinians? Have you seen Palestine? It's leveled. It's like a fucking... It's literally leveled. There's nothing there. You've killed all the people, you've leveled it, and now you're moaning and crying and whining about getting bombed on. You deserve everything you get. Right, let's move on. Let's move on. I don't want to get pulled into that bullshit. I really don't. There we go, guys. Right, I need to go up the shop. As I'm going up the shop, I'm going to be just thinking. I might walk into the shop doing it. Oh God. Let's get this all. I've lost my way, Banner. You lost your way, right? Right, I've got to pop to the shop, guys. I've got to get milk and stuff, and I won't be long. About 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Man.
Now this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me.
Right, see you in a minute.
Welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show if you don't know it's part of the show. Didn't they teach you to reach for the stars while opening up the bars and keeping you chained down with mortgage bills and cars? Vaccines for your arms, kids sounding like supercharged, caffeinated hate-filled scars and rage-quit repertoires. No answers for yards, caught up in emotion that's not even yours. Imposter truths like impeccable retards, lined up for your serving of gish galloping wars. No remedy can save the lost, in love with the yarn. I'm tired of walking into refracted shards, poor science displayed by disgusting bards. Soaked in sin with your dupe is delight and a new hand of cards. Been so long, seems like for love I'm just too hard, I'm just too hard. I said, welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show if you don't know. Intoxicated 8 makes you believe you're spinning in space while you have no shame or grace. It's a disdainful state I used to contemplate how to save myself from my own self-hate. Wonder why I was even made with a dreadful fate, forced to try and awake with a full plate. No one to help me stay awake or educate. I've had to liberate and fight through hidden gates, but my brother, heaven could never be late, and rockets don't work in space. It's all fake, the show is on Mars. It's a joke, but you're too far gone, it won't be long. Fepe's beak is strong. We have our song and we march along like streams of knowledge leading to God's holy pond, and lives of truth that hits the bong and sings the song, turns mankind from the wrong. We come in peace with a holy gown and all of us wearing our holy crowns. Said the earth is flat and we probably just won't get along, just to go along. I said, welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show
Well, we know where we're going, but we don't know where we've been. And we know what we're knowing, but we can't say what we've seen. And we're not little children, and we know what we want, and the future is certain. Give us time to work it out. We're on the road to nowhere. Come on inside. Take 'em that ride to nowhere. We'll take that ride. Feeling okay this morning, and you know we're on the road to paradise. Here we go, here we go. We're on a ride to nowhere. Come on inside. Take 'em that ride to nowhere. We'll take that ride. Maybe wonder where you are. I don't care. Here is where time is on our side. Take you there, take you there. We're on a road to nowhere. We're on a road to nowhere. Sitting in my mind, come along and take that ride. It's alright, baby, it's alright. And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. Would you like to come along and help me sing this song? It's alright, baby, it's alright. Sitting in my mind, come along and take that ride. It's alright, baby, it's alright. And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day. It's alright, baby, it's alright. And would you like to come along and help me sing this song? It's alright, baby, it's alright. Gonna tell you what to do, 'cause I make a fool of you. It's alright, baby, it's alright. We're on a road to nowhere. Hey! We're on a road to nowhere. We're on a road to nowhere. We're on a road to nowhere.
I will fly high in the sky above the clouds. Yes, I will. I will fly high in the sky above the clouds. Yes, I will. I saw the trees growing up, the forest trees landing down. I saw the clouds in the
zesty Indians. Let's just do a shout out to everyone in the chat. Big shout out to London Girl. Cheers, Jax, Honor, forever. Darmo, Runes in the house. Dr. E. We got Dirt Wizard. Schlows in the house. We've got some good vids today, guys. Actually, I'm gonna have to start them early. Still black screen. Oh, no, it ain't. That's it. Should be not sharing. I think it's okay though. You can see, yeah. You ain't just been looking at a blank screen for the last 10 minutes, have you? Hey Terry, welcome in. Santero, welcome in. Welcome in, guys. Charlie Rose, welcome in. Yeah, so we start those soon. You know, got some pretty good videos. Thanks, David, for stopping the zesty India. They were a bit zesty. I mean, I don't know what's going on in India. You know, the Indians, you got to sort yourselves out, man. You can't be looking like that. Going. I mean, what do you expect? These Indians, these literally celebrate by collecting tons and tons of cow shit. That is heaps of this stuff, and they celebrate by jumping into it and start throwing this cow shit. This is an actual celebration. I showed you it, right? I showed you it before, and it gets to the extreme where they're picking up literally paving slab sizes and forming them into like a square. Remember, this is cow shit. And literally running up and just dumping it on another Indian's head. I mean, this is unacceptable behaviour from you Indians. I mean, what the hell are you playing at over there? Way too much estrogen going on. Way too much estrogen. Can't be having that. India, sort yourselves out. Hey, what's up, Chills? Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, so we play those, guys. You don't want to listen to me waffling on about Flat Earth. I mean, you already know what I know. It'd just be like preaching to the choir. So, yeah, we just watch some vids instead, man. We synchronise me recordings with the crazy professor from Tokyo discovered tits using their own grammar. Damn. Tits are waffling to each other? Oh, shit, I forgot to get my blue Rizzlers. Got to get my Rizzlers. Dang it! All right, guys. Let's crack on with the Let's crack on with the show. You don't know you're part of the show. Oh. Yes, there's a David Icke in there, but I'm not listening to David Icke because we're not listening to that because of the reptilians and the non-solidity of our fucking universe. I mean, no, this is about the players. Because David Icke was good at this, you know, discussing the players in the game, you know, how the games run. And I used to listen to David Icke back in 2006, was it? 2007 or something like that, 2005, around that time. He was on YouTube big time. And yeah, he was a really interesting listen. But, you know, what I did learn from David Icke is the players and the game, the way the game's run and all this. And yeah, he was pretty awesome for that. And a lot of his predictions have come true when it comes to that side of the topic, right, that he talks about. So, right, let's crack on, man. All right, we've got this is Jim Annis. So we've got Zesty Mikey Smith and Zesty Sam. I think it's Zesty Sam. So Zesty Mikey Smith and it's Mossad Sam. Look, he's got the Israeli burning flag behind him. This guy going on truth channels and spewing his Israeli propaganda was disgusting, mate. Disgusting. You don't need that in truth channels. This moron going around spewing out his nonsense. Get your ass out of here. So look, this is what happens when you start doing that. You end up on the Zest fist. You end up on the Zest vid. So. See what happens, Mikey. You fuck around and find out. This is This is what happens, Mikey Smith. Just a warning to you, Mikey Smith, man. You want to watch what company you keep, man. Because these guys, man, they will take what they want from you and then shit on you and then leave you in the gutter. That's what they're going to do, Mikey. We can all see it. That's why you're getting all these test vids made about you. He's telling you, Jim's telling you, this guy's going to fuck you over, bro. Because that's all they know what to do. They think they're better than everyone else. They think they can invade countries and willy-nilly and bomb them. And you're teaming up with these types? Damn. Ah, zesty ass Mikey and Sam. Couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up.
March 7th, 2026, 5:46. Yeah, they plowed us pretty hard. Indeed.
Oh, I did get a result yesterday or the day before. My mate got me some Cali Bud. It was really nice. It's kind of like a mix between, this one's like a mix between runts and like just a nice fruity kind of, like a fruity runts. This is like it's done well actually. It's got a nice flavour and smoke to it. Quite really smooth actually, really smooth, kind of sweet. Yeah, it's lovely. It's a really nice bit of weed. Anyone out there getting Cali Bud at the moment? Anyone else? Wake up. Iran will level your city. Sorry about that. Anyone else getting the Cali Bud at the moment? I don't trust his hands. Hey, Logical, welcome in. One for we got Chez. We got a Jamie's on there. We got a Jamie's on there for Chez. That's coming up. Hey, Post, what's up? Andy, welcome in. Right, let's crack on. Let's crack on because we ain't really got that much time. I know there's like 3 hours, but it's really, that goes so quick when you're watching videos. So we got a Jay Tolan, we got an Eric DeBay, we got Scanner Guy, Eric DeBay, we got that David Icke, we got Jake DTV's got a new one out. That's cool. We got the Jamies, the Alien Situation, just for Chez, just for Chez. They got Autodidactic, the Australian thing, which is pretty cool. We got a Lev, we got a Nick Phuket, we've got a Wild Army one, Hidden Structure, and that should take us to around 1 o'clock, I think.
40 in the afternoon.
We might have to watch a bit of
Beautiful.
a bit of Deosa.
They went and laid these things.
As long as we get through the majority one.
Two big old rips.
Check this.
Started from those two trees. Before that, all this was already here this morning. Yep, that's from two rips. I should have recorded them. There was two lines early this morning right here. Now it's just a wrap around. You can see down there. They've been waving it over there too.
Low light,
Trimming.
4K low light camera
Oh, nice.
picked up a very faint, distant pulsing. And a guy, that's some really interesting vids. If you want to look at good shots of the sky at night, check out this Scanner Guy, 1968. And there's so much stuff moving up there. It's absolutely incredible. It really is. And they're not planes. Absolutely not.
Door.
Whatever they are,
Start.
who knows?
All right. This is my day so far. All right. Peace out.
4K Sony A7 II. Oh, I'm going to zoom in on one specific area where we will then see a faint stationary light flashing. Okay, let's check it out. I can see loads of it, though. Right. A7 35mm lens pointing at the Milky Way cloud, 2 AM in full video. Okay, let's check it out. There. He's going there. Insane flash there. I haven't seen these guys. I don't watch none of these videos. So I'll just put them on the list. See? Or that? That's it there. Oh, look at that. I mean, what is that? Can someone tell me what that is? We're going to speed the footage up a couple of times to erratic. Oh, is this is it here? Yeah, it's just constantly. Well, I mean, that was quite similar to the thing that I was watching when I was night fishing once. I was night fishing, it was about 3 AM in the morning. I'm back in my deck chair, just looking up at the stars. I'm focused on one star and it's all blinkering, and next minute, it switches off. I swear. I was looking, I was like, what the literally switched off. Freaked me out a bit. I was really high at the time. I was tripping, I was like, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? That moving, it's moving as well. It started to move. Wow. Started moving. This thing, look at this thing, look. Another one there. The whole sky is moving, you do realise that? With these objects. I remember, I've said this before, I remember watching it was like a guy, he had binoculars and he was on a farm. This was like 10, 15 years ago, and he was using night shot, like infrared, like night shot mode on the binoculars, right? No, he had like the army thing, you know, with the one lens, and it was, but he hooked it up to his binoculars somehow. And it was the same thing. He was showing you the same thing, but the ones that he was showing, it was like green. Everything was lit up with a green kind of background, but there was things flying in formation, like super quick, like across, and really bizarre. Some of them making maneuvers and going back up. Really strange, man. It was just like, what is that? And it's the same sort of stuff that's happening in this. All these little flashing things just moving random directions. I find it really interesting. It's got a night. It's not moved all night. What about this one? This is Eric Debate. Shout out to Eric. The most ancient
The earliest
flat
recorded
scriptures.
writings found in known history include the Sumerian Kesh temple hymn, dated back to 2600 BC, Egyptian pyramid texts, dated back to 2400 BC, the Mesopotamian Epic of Gilgamesh, dated to 2100 BC, and the Indian Rig Veda, first written down in 1500 BC, but orally passed down for generations prior. All four of these most ancient scriptures feature passages describing their views on cosmology, and all of them are strikingly similar, detailing a geocentric, motionless, flat Earth encircled by a great ocean, covered and enclosed by a heavenly firmament, containing the sun, moon, and stars, which all revolve over and around the earth. In the Kesh temple hymn, there is a three-tiered cosmology, with earth at the center, the heavens above, and primordial waters below, known as the Abzu. Earth is said to be fixed upon the Abzu, with a mythical central temple axis, quote, reaching up to the great true house in the heavens. Ancient Egyptian pyramid texts describe a personified flat earth named Geb, separated by the air god Shu.
God, when I used to look at this when I was young, you know, everyone gets to see this at school, right? The last thing's going through your head is that it's like some sort of dome with stars in the firmament and the sun and the moon, right? The Taurus field. It's like, you're not... Imagine if you knew what you knew now when you were 16. Imagine the sort of character you'd be, knowing this stuff at a really early age instead of discovering it in your 30s and late 30s. But it's done like that on purpose, guys. It's done like that.
Body.
So you don't have this knowledge and information growing up. Because I'm telling you, people will be a lot different.
Starry sky goddess, Nut. Their three-tiered cosmology also featured Earth at the center, with heavens above and an underworld below. The sun god Ra travels over the earth, with pyramid text utterance 262 stating, Ra rises in the eastern horizon
There is only
and
one
sets
Ra.
in the western horizon. The earth is always depicted as flat.
What was that movie? And Kurt Russell in it, there is only one Ra.
With the sky shown as a curved arch, covering
Stargate. It was Stargate on it. I'm a retard, yeah.
enclosing the
officially.
land beneath. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, Earth is once again a fixed, flat, disc-shaped Earth, surrounded by cosmic waters, covered by a solid sky, with the sun, moon, and stars moving over and above. Tablet 1 states that Gilgamesh wandered far and wide to the edge of the world. Tablet 9 speaks of the rising, setting, and motions of the sun over the earth. Nowhere in the Epic of Gilgamesh, Egyptian pyramid texts, or Kesh temple hymn is there any mention of a heliocentric spinning globe Earth floating in an infinite vacuum of space.
Yes, never mentioned in these oldest ancient of ancient texts. And they're not mentioning spinning spheres with water attached to it and, you know, orbiting nonsense. No, it's pretty simple. It still is simple today. It's just that we've got a bunch of morons that like to come in and try and complicate everything. You know, using theories and maths and all this bullshit, which doesn't have any representation of true reality. True reality is actually the opposite. I'm talking about the opposite of what they tell us we're living on. And it's the opposite, literally. Poles apart.
The Indian Rig Veda describes Earth as a vast and spread out land with four corners, while another Vedic text claimed to originally be orally transmitted since before 3,000.
Quite an interesting thing. I mean, think of that inner circle as our continents. This is the game they're playing. You know, there's all this to discover on the plane. They're keeping us here in a little area. And that's probably, you know, it's probably bigger than this. I mean, we're talking, you know, this thing, the size of this plane could be, so we can't even comprehend it. We can't even comprehend the size of these giant trees that used to be around. Can't even comprehend that. Now, you know, you take that into consideration, the size of these fucking things were miles and miles up into the sky. Right? Now, think about this. What happens if there was a forest of these things? Think about that. Because this place could be fucking ginormous. We just don't get it.
1000 BC.
We're trying to work out a place that's been created by some sort of being, that's, you know, and we're trying to work it out with human thinking. It's never going to happen. You can't think like a human to try and work this place out. No, mate.
The Srimad Bhagavatam provides much more detail. This Vedic scripture calls our Earth.
We can work some of it out. We can work some of it out, right, but not.
And surrounded by a vast.
You're never going to get there with a complete,
described as being
finished kind of model
of a lotus flower,
Because we don't
with
know
our
the
Earth
dimensions,
island
the full
being
dimensions.
only
so-
one of many other much larger islands beyond the Antarctic. The larger world is called Bhumandala and is compared to the whorl of a lotus flower, which is also flat and circular. The word mandala itself also means circle, wheel, or disk. Much like Atlantis, which was claimed to be composed of 3 concentric rings of land and water, Bhumandala is said to be composed of 7 concentric rings of land and water, where each circle of land is surrounded by an ocean the same size as the island. There has been much speculation about what may exist south of the South Pole, and it's very intriguing that one of the most ancient scriptures known to mankind suggests the answer may be
Hey
many
Laura, welcome in.
unexplored
Happy,
further
welcome in.
lands. The Srimad
Gents, welcome in.
Bhagavatam describes the
You
first
got the
2
ladies in
rings of
today.
land
Got the
and
ladies
the
in this
first
morning.
ring of water in a way that corresponds with early world maps. Cantos 5:19 states that 8 smaller islands surround Jambudweep, and when we look at older world maps from before the Antarctic was fully covered in snow and ice, such as the 1587 Urbano Monti, we can see there are 8 distinct lands that constitute the Antarctic Circle. So when the lands of Antarctica are without ice, they are actually divided into 8 islands, which is just as claimed by the Vedas. At the center of Jambudweep stands Mount Meru, or Sumeru, the primordial world mountain, which, interestingly enough, also appears in early cartography from the same time period. Gerard Mercator's 1595 North Pole map, published just 8 years after Urbano Monti's world map, shows a central magnetic black rock mountain it calls
Crazy.
Rupus Nigra, which fits descriptions of Mount Meru. The Bhagavatam also makes mention of Bhugala, which means globe or sphere, and has been used by Hindu heliocentrists to suggest the Vedas claims Earth is globular. But Bhugala refers to the entire universe, the cosmic egg, inside which we reside on the central plane of Bhumandala and Jambudweep, not randomly stuck all around the outside of a globe. Additionally, the Vedas give detailed descriptions of the Navagraha, the 9 circulating celestial bodies, including the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu, claimed to compose the cosmos, and Earth is not among them. The supposed third rock from the Sun is not one of the Navagraha, and is clearly seen as the foundation from which they are observed, the flat land under which they all revolve. The Srimad Bhagavatam 5.21.3 states, "The most opulent sun, the king of all planets that emanate heat, while passing toward the north, toward the south, or through the equator, in accordance with the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is said to move slowly, swiftly, or moderately. According to its movements in rising above, going beneath, or passing through the equator, and correspondingly coming in touch with various signs of the zodiac, headed by Makara, Capricorn, days and nights are short, long, or equal to one another." This is a precise description of how the mechanics of the circling sun operate over a stationary flat Earth. As the sun moves in its annual journey from solstice to solstice, beginning at the Tropic of Capricorn, steadily moving toward the equator at the equinox, then continuing to the Tropic of Cancer, the sun adjusts its speed accordingly to maintain a 24-hour cycle regardless of the current latitude. At winter solstice, the farthest south, it travels fastest. At the equinoxes in the middle, it travels a moderate speed. And at summer solstice, the farthest north, it travels slowest, just as the Bhagavatam states. While passing toward the north, toward the south, or through the equator, it moves slowly.
I'm starting to think it's more like the FPV model. It's doing more of a figure of 8. That's what I think it's doing. And it probably like FPV says it kind of comes around like this, but it kind of goes straight across here and comes around this way, kind of like this sort of motion.
Swiftly, or moderate.
But I'm starting to think, does it just kind of do this? That'll give you the other direction as well in the south. Right? Coming back round the other way. Something to think about, isn't it?
21, 4, and 5 go into even more precise detail, stating, when the sun passes through Mesa, Aries, and Tula, Libra, the durations of day and night are equal.
I mean, these sun and moon just don't answer that question if they're just going around in circles like this.
When it passes through the 5 signs headed by Vrisabha, Taurus, the duration of the days increases until Cancer, and then it gradually decreases by half an hour each month until day and night again become equal in Libra. When the sun passes through the 5 signs, beginning with Vrishika, Scorpio, the duration of the days decreases until Capricorn, and then gradually it increases month after month until day and night become equal.
It could be that like ceiling fan perspective thing though, wouldn't it? When you look at it from another direction, it's going the other way, right? Could be something to do with that, with perspective down here. It really could.
The Bhagavatam also makes some very
So
interesting
that could still work if it's a perspective thing.
claims regarding eclipses and the moon's phases. Vedic cosmology suggests there exists another celestial body tracing similar paths as the sun and moon, which it calls Rahu, the black sun, or the black moon. Rahu is a translucent dark body which revolves at a lower altitude than the sun and moon, allowing it from certain vantage points at certain times to completely eclipse them. The new moon every month, when the moon completely disappears
Got that word Ra in it again, it? Rahu.
from view for over 24 hours, along with the waxing and waning phases where its light appears covered, could also be explained by occlusion of this third dark body. If Rahu traces a similar path as the moon, making one pass to fully cover the moon in 2 weeks, then progressing further past the moon for another 2 weeks, that motion could create the waxing and waning phases. Likewise, the new moon and full moon phases would be when Rahu completely covers and completely moves away from the moon respectively. The exact mechanics and workings of the celestial bodies unfortunately remain beyond the bounds of the physical sciences, as we cannot travel to confirm or deny our assumptions about them, just as most cannot freely travel past the Antarctic to confirm or deny speculations and hearsay about potential extra lands beyond. But it is certainly interesting and intriguing to note what these most ancient scriptures had to say about the shape and structure of the earth and the universe. Ancient Sumeria, Mesopotamia, Egypt, and India, along with literally every other ancient culture, had a similar cosmology.
Yeah, that's right. According to Simon Tran, CGI cartoons and nonsense like that is practically demonstrating something. This Simon Tran is a fucking idiot. You know, he looks at the camera like a fucking deer in headlights. You can see the fear just oozing out of him. You wouldn't mix with these types in real life, would you? No one would. I'd love to meet Dan in real life. I really would. Simon Dan. I'd sweep the leg. I said this. I would sweep because he's got a prosthetic leg one, and he was in. So yeah, the sensei come up to me and go, Banner, yes, sweep the leg. Like in Karate Kid, yeah? Do you know in Karate Kid when he goes up, he goes, sweep the leg. No, sweep the leg. I would sweep his fucking leg and he'd be on his back like a beetle with his legs out. What a moron that guy is. An absolute retard. Again, another one parasiting of flat earth. I can't stand these folks like Craig McNeil and Simon Tran and all these fucking idiots parasiting of flat
Featuring
earth.
a geocentric, motionless Earth plane.
That's why, it was a great thing that we all just went, no more content for you arseholes. Now you're going to have to dive to the bottom of the barrel to get your content, and that's exactly what's happened, isn't it? They've literally had to go. I mean, TikTok flat earthers are retarded. They really are. They're complete idiots. They can't focus. They've got an attention span of around 10 seconds, and I mean, yeah, crack on with that. Crack on with that, you guys. Because we're sitting here laughing at you now. Jay Tolan got? Oh, right, okay. Fixing optical distortions. Okay. He fixed it. He fixed the nonsense curve that they... This looks like CGI, though. This doesn't look real. I mean, does Jay have to make his mind up? Wasn't he a few months ago saying it was a sphere again or something? Now he's back saying it's flat. I mean, what is the matter with this Jay Tolan? All right, Jay Tolan, you've taken some great photography, yeah, and we appreciate it. We appreciate your long distance stuff. But dude, man, make your fucking mind up. Jumping around, fence hopping, you know, to please everyone. Shut your weak ass up, Jay Tolan. You need to get back on it, bro. Get back on the long range photography because you know you're proving a massive thing there. Not jumping around saying, "Oh, it could be a globe now" and whatever. What the hell, man?
Buckle up, everyone! We are going to defeat NASA's optical lies and reveal the wondrous flat Earth from space. The truth will not be suppressed. Let's have a look at the Gateway to Astronaut Photography of Earth. This website is a goldmine. So many photos and high resolution too. Let's browse and I'll show you what I mean. Let's go ahead and click on the collections and then time lapse.
Oh,
and here we have some filter parameters.
we have to go through this.
Let's go with 2025. There's a lot more data sets. And we can choose day or night or day, night.
Astronaut photography of Earth.
And let's filter.
Oh, come on now.
Now let's scroll. There's probably hundreds or more.
Astronaut photography of Earth. What's
file
this?
Sets, and each has hundreds of photos, if not thousands.
All right, let's check.
Especially for the longer tracks, as you can see.
I thought these were the
let's
actual
go ahead and
images.
check this one on December 16th.
I thought these were the actual images. I was about to go into one.
As an example. So now there's all the photos cataloged. We can see the focal length, so much information. And these are huge photos taken with the Nikon Z9.
Oh,
we get some information.
is that one of the images there? Oh, come on.
Focal length, camera information. Let's click on metadata. And here we go. Yeah, we have the metadata. We can see some of the parameters. You know, the astronauts, I think, need some training on how to set the camera properly because they have the parameters kind of wonky, you know. The shutter is too high, aperture, and it's a little bit dark. But anyway, we can download the raw image, and we can also hover
download these images
and see the data. Look how noisy it is. They have the ISO turned up. Yeah, these guys need to have a class in.
I mean, what is even the point of having this box? Look at it. Isn't it meant to like magnify and like, you know, give you a bit more clarity of a magnification over these? Look at it. It's all just fucking dots of. It looks like when the old televisions used to switch off at night, you get that fuzziness. What's the point of this? There's no point. You can't see anything. There's no detail there. There's nothing there. What the hell, man?
So here's the photo I downloaded. Very noisy and dark. Yeah, they did not set the parameters correctly. But at first glance, you may think this is normal. Look, the solar panels are straight.
How the hell can you think that this is normal? How does this become normal? Look at this lake here. How much is that curving? If you were standing there, right, at this point of the lake, how much is that curving down? Just say that's Lake Titicaca, right? It's 750 miles from there to there, right? If you're standing here, that's going to be curving away 8 inches per mile squared. How much is that curving away from you? It's probably miles. Just nonsense. We know water doesn't act like that. You know, it has to be level. So all this curving shit is all over old bollocks.
Praise the Lord. But hold on a second, don't get ahead of yourself. Because we are dealing with some incredible optical distortion and
I'm not Lake Titicaca, the Caspian. Is it the Caspian Sea? It's I think it's the Caspian Sea actually. 750 miles long, I think 400 miles wide, contained body of water.
as you can see here,
I mean, that's a lot of curvature, isn't it? Over a surface of water, 750 miles contained. And, you know, it's obvious that that water isn't curving. So it has to be flat. There's no other.
They're curved, almost the same as the horizon. Isn't that incredible? So this is a dead giveaway that we're dealing with the fisheye lens phenomena. So let's have a look at the optical distortion zones. This graphic illustrates what we're dealing with. We have the camera, and then there is certain lens distortions, right? Usually they're corrected, etc. But for fisheye lenses, we need to understand what kind of image that produces and what the equations are. Then we're looking through the cupola window. And again, distance away matters, what angle, what attitude we have to that window, etc. And then finally, we're dealing with the refraction in the space environment, and plasma and the temperature gradients do affect what we see. So very complex environment. When it comes to fisheye lenses, there's some mathematics we need to be aware of. And don't worry, there's plenty of tutorials online, and I'll have a link for you. And there's also Python modules written for all this, so you don't have to wade in all the
Hey, happy campers,
details.
how you doing?
And last but not least, we have to think about perspective. Can we replicate what these astronauts are seeing?
Yeah, logical.
And here I just grabbed 4 images off the internet with some women astronauts, and there's Chris Cassidy, Navy SEAL, engineer.
CC.
Interesting.
Yeah, CC 33 right there.
Careers that these people have. Samantha Cristoforetti.
I mean, look at this. She's so easy to fake. This is so easy to fake. So easy.
He's an Italian Air Force pilot and engineer. Lots of military folks.
I mean, that could be in a studio. You know, this is all set. You sit in there, give the illusion that you're up high by, you know, putting the front screen projection of the Earth right there in the background. Angle it up slightly high angle down, so it looks like you're looking. Oh, this is easy to fake. Any studio could fake this shit. Easy. All of these images.
But Karen Nyberg has a PhD, no military experience, just a smart gal, made it into space. Yeah. So here's a graphic trying to illustrate angles. Depending on how far away you sit from your TV, you may or may not get a proper perspective. And so I set out to actually correct some of these photos and try to produce very pleasing, accurate perspectives brought to your desktop or your TVs in the living room. Okay, so now let's have a look at this Python graphical user interface app I wrote. Okay, I'm primarily using the computer Vision 2 module in Python, and I put some field boxes, they're text boxes and labels, so I can rapidly test different parameters. And this is work in progress. This is version 1, and I'll release this eventually, but I'm gonna build in a batch file processing capability so I can run over many files and create a time lapse, a corrected time lapse. But anyway, this has made it possible for me to correct the
Jay
photos.
Tolan's made an app or something that corrects the distortion of the horizon.
And I also processed
wide
them a
angle
little
lenses.
bit in Photoshop because
Isn't there something
they're
like
too
that
large,
already
like
out though? 'Cause I'm sure there's something like that already out.
1,000 by
But cool, though. It's
5,000
pretty
pixels.
cool.
So here you see I've reduced it to 4,000. And so accordingly, I reduced the pixels per millimeter as well, but keep the focal length. I can shift slightly, and I have the distortion parameters and the K2 parameters. Now, here's a question. Should the horizon be linear? Well, let's do a simple verification here. So I corrected this image based on the focal length and all that. And now I drew this line between some features which we can measure on a map. Okay, so we have the San Gorgonio Mountains. We barely touch the Salton Sea on the western shore there.
How big is the Salton Sea, this body of water here? Quite a large body of contained water.
And we go in the Gulf of California to that point. So now let's have a look at a map. Okay, so here's the map, so you can have confidence that
I can't see no rivers coming out of that. Normally you see rivers coming out of the real big containers, like rivers out going to the that like completely contained.
Indeed, these features are all in a strip.
So each one of these is 50 miles? No. Oh, right. So it's 50 miles from there to there. That's going to be about 30 miles long. 3 or 4 wide. Still a big body of water, though.
But you may be wondering, wait a second, on a fisheye image, lines that pass through the center will not be bent. And so I've chosen another location to illustrate that when we correct for straight lines on the ground, the horizon comes out straight as well. So here we are. This is in Iraq, and you can see the curved line. And here it is corrected. Now let's look at the map. So
that correction tool's pretty good, isn't it?
Tool to lay down a line, starting over where the Al Kabur River flows into the Euphrates River. And then on number 2, we have Haditha Dam. And then we barely touch Thurfall Lake. I can barely pronounce that. And then right over to the western shore in Iran. So this is just incredible, folks. When we correct for features on the ground, we obtain a flat horizon. Isn't that incredible? So we can have confidence that indeed the horizon should appear flat.
Nice. Okay. Good stuff, J. Tolan.
There you have it, folks. The Earth is incredibly flat. Don't you ever forget that.
A 100 years ago, Nikola Tesla discovered a healing technology that threatened the entire pharmaceutical industry. The day he died, the government seized everything.
A major aspect of physical control, take over the countries. This is not a map, it's a wish list.
This was David. Oh, is it 2012 this, or was this one before? Oh, this must be the 2012 one. Yeah, but he was online for about 6 years before this.
List of countries in North Africa and the Middle East.
But this is going back to 2012, right? And I remember him doing one of these presentations way before this, talking about this sort of stuff.
Near East, which they are picking off one after the other. Libya, now they're into Syria, they're starting trouble in Lebanon, they're in Iraq, they're in Afghanistan. Of course, they want Iran. And what they're doing is they're finding different excuses to pick off different countries, because they have to find different excuses, or people might think that there's a pattern here. This is what Libya looked like in 2007. This is what the same street looks like in 2011. This is Libya. Hey, you are free. And this is what happens when you pepper bomb cities to protect civilians from violence. What happened? I got no brief for bloody Gaddafi and all that stuff, but that's not the point. What happened was that they've got this system where they want to target someone. So what they do is they fund and train rebels covertly, and they bloody arm them. And then they get the rebels to start shooting at government targets. Political response, media response. Then the governments start shooting back at the rebels. Political response, they're shooting and killing their own people. Media response, the same. Oh, we've got to send people in, humanitarian. And in come the de facto bloody world army, NATO, dropping bombs everywhere. And now they're doing the same in bloody Syria. Not a Syrian civil war, it's a mercenary bloody war. That's what that is. You know, NATO bloody weapons here in the boxes for them. And this neocon organization, the Project for the New American Century, it was behind the Bush administration. And in September 2000, before the Bush administration came in, it produced a document which called for the incoming Bush administration and America to fight, quote, multiple theaters of war in places like Libya and Syria and all these countries. But it said in the document in September 2000, but this process of transformation, this takeover of country after country, was likely to be a long one, absent some catastrophic and catalyzing event like a new Pearl Harbor. 1 year to the month after that document was published, 9 months after the same people came to power in the Bush administration, the United States had what Bush called our Pearl Harbor, and as a result, they justified the targeting of all the countries that were in that document. This is a man called General Wesley Clark, and he said this in a television interview. This is not God's gift to peace either. He led the NATO attacks in the former Yugoslavia. But he said in a television interview in 2007 that immediately after 9/11, he was told that a coup was being plotted by Dick Cheney, vice president then, Don Rumsfeld, defense secretary, Paul Wolfowitz, defense secretary deputy, and what he called a half a dozen other collaborators from the Project for the New American Century that included an invasion of Iraq. 6 weeks later, he said, he was back with the guy, and he saw the same officer, and he said, why haven't we attacked Iraq? Are we still going to attack Iraq? And this officer said to him, this is again, after 9/11, 6 weeks, sir, it's worse than that. The officer pulled up a piece of paper off his desk and said, I just got this memo from the Secretary of Defense's office. It says we're going to attack and destroy the governments in 7 countries in 5 years. We're going to start with Iraq, and then we're going to move to Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Iran. And Clark said the aim of the plot was they wanted us to destabilize the Middle East, turn it upside down, and make it under our control. And that is the agenda that's been followed. And all these excuses to pick off country over country are just that, bloody excuses. And of course, one of the things they want is to get to the China and Russian border. They want a third world war with China and Russia. It's been in their documents for ages. And so what we're seeing are these people going through the Middle East using different excuses to pick off their target countries. You know, oh, America stands for freedom. We want to protect Brazilians. We only care about peace. Ah, only kidding, only kidding. She's Hillary speaking. No, I just love it. Oh, yes, I love it. Syria next, kill them. Oh, I love it. There you are, that's bloody NATO. There you go, I like that. So we look at Iran.
I mentioned the lizards, Dave.
We look at Iran, and this is how many wars they have instigated or fought since the Second World War.
That's crazy, right?
Actually, that's how many they've instigated for about 200 bloody years. This is how many the USA has fought with Britain in tag most of the bloody time since the Second World War. These are American bases around Iran. Who's threatening who, one wonders? Iranians are just the same as you and me. People that just want to get on with their lives and their families and all the rest of it. But let's demonize them. Let's demonize them and let's bomb them. Why? We have no heart. We love death. These bloody pillocks doing all this stuff. Violent extremists. Yeah, look in the bloody mirror. Look at them. Talk about inversion.
Yeah.
The bloody terrorists fighting.
That's what the propaganda does. It inverts everything. The Western propaganda is crazy at the moment.
War is peace, slavery is freedom, ignorance is strength. What is that? Archontic inversion. It's all a bloody movie that we're coming through, and it's all leading up to World War III. I'm not going to go into this in bloody detail because of time, but Rothschild Zionism, which is actually not about Jewish people, it's about a secret society created and instigated and controlled by the Rothschilds. The Jewish people are just used as a bloody front to cover the real thing about Rothschild Zionism, which is it's a bloody secret society and part of the cabal. But the Rothschilds, you know, named after Saturn and all this stuff, they built the Knesset, they built the Supreme Court building, and what they do is that anyone that challenges the Rothschilds and Rothschild Zionism and its agenda, they are called anti-Semitic and all this stuff. As this lady says, anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism, and even bloody Orthodox Jewish rabbis are saying the bloody same. You don't have to be a Jewish to be a Zionist. That's what Joe Biden said. Absolutely you don't. Most bloody great, Zionists in America are Christian bloody Zionists, believe in bloody Armageddon. And you get Orthodox Jews that absolutely oppose Zionism. You know, another Jew against Zionism. I'm Jewish and I want Israel to stop killing Palestinians. Jews against the occupation. These are wonderful Jewish young people that refuse. These are wonderful Jewish young people who refuse to serve in the military and do this.
90% of Jews are not blood to the land. They're from like Poland or something. They're not even proper, the Palestinians have got more blood ties to that land than are they Ashkenazi Jews or something? Well, that was a word banded around back in the day. Yeah, they're from Poland. Not even from there.
The Palestinian bloody...
In our news, bloodline goes to Poland. It isn't Jewish.
Kids, that's what we need. How many people know that this is going on between Jewish people and Ahmadinejad? Hey? How many people know this is going on? This is the dynamic between a country of 300 plus million and one of less than 8 million.
God. So that's perfect.
Why? Because the Rothschilds are the controllers of Israel and they're controllers of the USA, and they're different hands on the same bloody body. And it's all this money that's handed by America to Israel. It ain't going to the rank and file Israelis. This is 400,000 people on the streets of Israel last year because of their economic situation. 2 people at least have set fire to themselves in bloody protest. And what we bloody need so much is for the people of Israel who are being suppressed by their bloody hierarchy, come together in common cause with Palestinians and Americans and British and Australians and Africans who are being suppressed by their hierarchy.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? The coming together will never happen, and not when they've got this infrastructure, like structure, society in place. It's all about divide and conquer, right? Fracture, right down to the family unit. So people come together, it's not going to happen. And as I've said it millions of times, that's what they fear most, is unity of the people.
And realise that all those hierarchies are the same frickin' hierarchy.
Yeah.
Let's come together. It's their worst bloody nightmare. This is why America and Israel work as one unit. They're both controlled by the same bloody lot. This is why he won't say a word, or any other president, when this mayhem and slaughter is going on. What's happening in Palestine is frickin' genocide. No other word for it.
And that was in 2012.
Don't mention the reptiles, Dave.
Even less is said about the
Don't mention the reptiles,
to be the
Ikey
true
boy.
ruling power in the Vatican.
Humans emitting a MAC address.
All of them had.
Let's check out Jake. Then we got James for Ches. Next.
Breaking news, Trumpenstein has decided to finish off the Sand People.
Oh, wow. Probably has absolutely nothing to do with the Epstein files.
Right, like I'm sending my son off to Iran tonight.
Let's see if we can find your son. Timmy, you're going to war. Pack your bags. Israel needs your help. Haven't you seen Europa, The Last Battle? I'm not dying for the synagogue of Satan. That's actually based.
Good call, Timmy. So all of a sudden, people just forgot about them burning the satanic ball statue. But let's see what it looked like in Iran the morning of February 28th.
Now, here it is, just some peaceful bombs. No word on whether Trumpenstein got the Ayatollah, but he did end up bombing.
Just some peaceful bombs. Just peaceful. Just we're peacefully bombing Iran. That's all. Bombing the children.
Ayatollah, but he did end up bombing a bunch of children, as Jeffrey Epstein would say. Oops. But let's hear what the normies are saying about this whole thing.
Do you support Project Epstein Fury?
Of course. Every night I pray that my kids will fight for the Jews. But leave me alone. I've got bread and circuses to get.
Project Epstein Fury. JGTV. Where do you get this from, man? This dude's hilarious. Epstein Fury.
Do you support Project Epstein Fury?
Of course. Every night I pray that my kids will fight for the Jews. But leave me alone. I've got bread and circuses to get to.
Hey man, are you glad your taxes are being sent overseas?
Dude, my wife just downloaded Hinge last night and $7 for gas? Literally wish I was chosen at this point. How do you feel about sending our troops off to war again?
Oh gosh, not another damn lefty. Bro, they are 1 week away from a nuke.
Wow, scary. Quick question, do you support the Iran war?
Bro, they're going after every country that doesn't have a Rothschild banking system. And no, I'm not vaxxed.
I think I'm in love.
Thanks, Tom. You should definitely grab her number.
But this just in, a U.S. airstrike has destroyed a school in southern Iran. Ching Chong joins us live from the tragedy.
Ching Chong. Ching Chong's my favourite news presenter ever. She's
We're
awesome.
outside the school where devastation has arisen.
How could anyone do this to innocent people?
Well, they do eat foreskins.
We got 2 Palestinian foreskins and 3 Christian white ones. Yes, chef! Idiot! They want the jerky on top of the pizza. Make it again.
Oh. No comment. No comment.
Again. Yes, chef!
So how are your foreskins today?
The Chinese ones were a bit sour, but the white ones were divine.
Very insightful.
Yeah.
Ching Chong, back to you.
Oh, stop it. Just stop.
Divine. The Chinese ones were a bit sour, but the white ones were divine.
Very insightful.
Yeah.
Ching Chong, back to you.
With over 100 innocent girls now obliterated, Vax normies are saying it's chill because they have Persian friends. Tom, go ahead.
Do you hear about the school bombing?
What about the women who are forced to wear burqas? Are you antiseptic or something? You should be celebrating.
Why?
Because I know Iranians, unlike you.
Absolutely retarded. And as these Iranians uncover more and more infants in the rubble, Israeli news is saying they did this to themselves.
You're saying Israel didn't do it?
Are you kidding me? And of course not. It was America, I swear. Just ask them.
We're always the victims and never the bad guys.
They're saying they didn't do it. Are you going to take responsibility?
Look, we've been very clear about this. They did it to themselves because they're terrorists and stuff. We're actually just saving them from themselves.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
Based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hegseth? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still investigating.
But the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
I literally can't fathom the amount of mRNA flowing through someone's body to actually swallow this Epstein-level propaganda. But let's hear what Trumpstein, the president of no wars, has to say to the American Goyim.
The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future, and it is a noble mission.
So in other words, he had two choices. Let the Steinberg files get out or sacrifice Goyim to protect the pedos.
Well, who cares about Epstein victims? The Dow is nearly 50,000. Yeah.
Let's hear what Anna Kasparian has to say.
Our soldiers are gonna be in Israel, right now as we speak, in order to defend the Israelis. Do the Israelis pay for our military? Are they the ones who are shelling out $1 trillion a year for our military? No, they're not. We pay for our military. Why are our soldiers based in Israel? Why do we have F-22 Raptors in Israel in order to protect Israel?
Hopefully this doesn't take 20 years like the last one.
Well, I'm not dying for Israel. Straight facts.
Right? Like, didn't you silly goy cattle learn from the Iraq war?
What should we do?
Let's ask Max Egan.
That guy's based.
Yeah, what about the service members that are actively deployed now?
Potato nose. What the hell is Max Egan? Potato. I'm gonna have to find that tune that that little rap about Max Egan, then I need potato nose. Jersey Royal. Damn.
Yeah, what about the service members that are actively deployed now?
Go home. Say no. Protect your families. What, are you going to go and fight a war for these people who we've just established torture, rape, and eat children? This is who you're going to fight.
Shut it down, Max. Your sons and daughters will die for Israel whether you like it or not. Suck on this, Stu Peters. Back to the frickin' goy slop or you'll end up like Jackie.
Oh, gosh, the victim's cranky again.
I actually need a raise, so let's just read the headline.
Ugh, fine. February 28th strikes hit Tehran, Isfahan, and other parts of Iran, resulting in the death of their leader, Ali Khamenei.
Yay, this is so good for democracy.
Dude, do you really want Jewish supremacy?
Yeah, they just like jerky and pizza, but it's all a bunch of conspiracy theories.
Ugh, you are so gay, bro.
Sack the up. We're about to lose this country if you don't grow a pair. We outnumber them 10,000 to 1. Their Iron Dome is getting obliterated. Check this out.
Boom, baby. Look at that shit. They're overwhelming the shit out of that dome.
No comment.
Dang, they're getting hit hard. I mean, good for Iran, but isn't this going to start World War III?
Yeah, pretty sure this is why they had to get rid of Charlie. Listen to what he said about this.
My whole life, I've been told that Iran is getting a bomb. Iran is getting a bomb. Iran is getting a bomb. Iran is getting a nuclear bomb. And yet here in 2025, they do not have a nuclear bomb. Same people that told us that Iraq was a big threat, the same people that told us the Taliban was a big threat. The evidence shows that every single one of these people that is pushing for a conflict with Iran has been one of the greatest catastrophes in American foreign policy ever. I mean, India has nuclear weapons. Pakistan has nuclear weapons. But lots of things are bad that we shouldn't risk destroying.
North Korea have nuclear weapons.
Me, this is a hard and fast red line.
Gosh, I miss Charlie, man.
Same.
But let's see Tel Aviv getting striked.
They're all just hiding in bunkers, though.
I don't care. Bring back Palestine, baby. Back to you, John.
This is the spiritual battle, folks, and God wins in the end, so chin up, soldiers. Boom! I mean, oh no, our greatest ally is getting treated like the sand people. That's so sad.
Oh no, the Khazarians, Chosenites, are getting a taste of their own medicine.
Oh, what a tragedy.
We better stop noticing, right, Shapiro-Stein?
Just because the Torah says we're not supposed to mass migrate to Israel and we're not actual Jews, doesn't mean we're not perpetual victims, and the sand people need to leave.
Thank you, Shapiro-Stein. We need to come together and fulfill revelation. The Goyim are starting to notice, and we must usher in the digital beast system.
Oh, did you see the idol at the back? This, the claws and...
The Goyim are starting to notice, and we must usher in the digital beast system.
Wait, didn't the Bible say that the Messiah would come before the destruction of the Second Temple?
Yep.
And then it happened in 70 AD, right after Jesus?
You got it.
So doesn't that mean these people are fulfilling Revelation?
That's it. Their so-called Messiah is actually just the Antichrist.
Stop reading the frickin' Bible. We created Christian Zionism so you normies would keep calling us chosen. Daisy, distract the goyim with your lustful milkers.
Thanks, producer Berg. It's like their women aren't even allowed to have only freaks.
You're so right, Daisy. I'm actually a feminist, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not letting you hit.
Damn, okay.
But the good news is we can finally install the wall kisser.
Yeah, that Islamic guy was so toxic.
We're still not f***ing. Shapiro-Stein, take it away.
Just because we mark Charlie Kirk and I have a small wiener doesn't mean we won't bomb the shit out of Iran for having nukes. Besides, our nukes are even bigger, so we have the right to exist. God said so.
Jeez, he has no chill.
No, for real. Did you see that one veteran get dragged out of the Senate hearing?
The Marine who said no one wants to fight for Israel?
Yep. Check this out. Yep.
Out. No one wants to fight for Israel.
His hand. Oh, his hand.
A U.S. Senator just broke the hand of a Marine. You're a coward.
I swear we're just their little go-away corporation, but let me pull up the senator who broke his arm. Every single Steinowitz. Back to you guys in the studio.
We seriously need to make them register as foreign agents.
Straight up, it's like, respect the troops until one badmouths Israel.
They just like active duty military-aged men that are obedient and lethal.
Triple boosted, too.
Fully jabbed, exactly.
Let's go to Elena in Tel Aviv.
We're here in Tel Aviv, where a missile hit a military facility, killing one unlucky chosen person. And while Israel bombs children, Israelis are once again dancing in their underground bunkers. Let's see what they're up to. Here they are, just singing their Talmudic songs of genocide, while Iranians bury their children. But let's go live to see what's going on in Iran. Ching Chong, what's happening out there? We're here outside the burial site where Iranians are mourning the loss of their people. Mainstream news will not be showing you this, as Israel holds the world hostage with the Samson option, aka nuclear blackmail. And that basically means they're not afraid to use nukes, but not only on their enemies, but us too. Ian, break it down for us.
If our allies let us start to lose any of our wars, we're gonna nuke them too. Because y'all pieces of shit should have had our backs when we were down, and if you don't, f*** you, we're bombing everybody.
Thanks, Ian. And while American Goyim are celebrating, the footage of actual Iranians tells a completely different story. Check this out. As you can see, the Western propaganda is falling apart. They're gathering in mass protest against regime change, while U.S. Israel literally bombs their citizens. But don't take it from me. Let's hear it from the citizens.
Is this happiness about attacking Iran? I doubt there are even Iranians.
Your own parents and relatives are living in this country. Do you really expect a country that has brought prosperity to no one to bring it to you? Why would you think something like that?
Are they Iranian? I don't know what these people are happy about. They're ignorant and senseless people. They're both traitors to their people and traitors to their homeland. Dirty people.
Damn, I guess when you control the media, you can make anything look like a good thing, right?
I mean, how do you think they got 85% of people to take a poisonous vaccine?
I guess that's why they call us cattle, right, Ching Chong?
The U.S. and Israel expected assassinating their leader would mean millions of Iranians would take to the streets and overthrow their government. Instead, millions poured out to mourn and rally around the Iranian flag.
Opposite.
Shut it down! Get your ass back to America, or I'll turn you into a lampshade! Initiate the chemtrails!
Iran, bad.
A quick question. Did you notice the streaks in the sky earlier?
You're a conspiracy theorist. Iran, bad.
What the heck?
Thanks, guys. As you can see, we have a flow of jet stream chemtrails spraying nanoparticulate with aluminum and barium. Expect a heavy metal fog that will be blamed on climate change.
Seems like people are starting to accept the Iran bad thing.
I think it's the fluoride and heavy metals interacting with their mRNA, but what do I know?
That's based. Let's see what Trumpstein is telling the normies.
That was a tremendous threat to us for many years. 47 years they've been killing our people and killing people from all over the world. And we have great support. And I think if we didn't do it first,
out of his mouth.
They would have done it to Israel and give us a shot if that was possible.
Iran bad.
Brought to you by the Jews at BlackRock. Because you're not Joes.
He can't name a single American who has been killed by the Iranians because that hasn't happened. Iranians aren't the ones who for decades have been killing Americans to drag us into wars in the Middle East, into wars for their own territorial expansion. That has been Israel.
Wow, it's almost like no matter who we vote for, we just get Netanyahu.
Right, and this just in, North Korea says they could nuke Israel.
Oh, no. Please don't. That would fix everything.
Yeah, oh no.
Please, Mr. Kim Jae, do us a favor and don't not do that.
I do love a good Korean barbecue.
Same.
Oh, Kim there. Showing himself in front of his nukes.
I swear, try me again and I press the nuclear activator. I'm this close. Run the freaking commercials or you're all getting nuked.
Have you tried our Goyslop Jr.? Made from 100% missing goyim.
Perfect with sports ball and gambling.
I hate myself.
Enjoy cancer.
Goyslop Jr.
Jeez, I've literally been craving the filet all week.
Yeah, Jerry loves his bread and circuses.
Stu Peters, wake the normies up.
The Iranians aren't the ones who bombed the USS Liberty. That was Israel. The Iranians aren't the ones who parked a moving van in view of the World Trade Center so they could film its demise and the deaths of thousands of Americans and then throw an impromptu dance party in a street. That was the Israelis.
Look, Stu, just because Mossad agents filmed and danced during the toppling of your little towers and sent napalm and burnt the lifeboats on the USS Liberty, which was an accident, doesn't mean anything. This time it's different. Trust me, I'm chosen. Right, Trumpenstein?
I will always be a friend and a champion to the Jewish people. I have been.
Good goy.
You're not welcome.
Stop controlling our government.
Supporting Israel is gay.
Ching chong. How's it going in Iran?
Large explosions have broken out behind me tonight. An Israeli strike reportedly hit an oil storage site here in Tehran. This was a civilian industrial facility. Over 1,000 innocent casualties because that's who Israel targets.
Thanks, Ching Chong. Look at those massive pillars of fire being sent into the air.
Why are they targeting innocent civilians?
Let's ask the Jake GTV investigation team. Good question. Well, the Iran's weapon facilities are underground, and the chosen people follow the Talmud. Remember their motto? By way of deception, thou shalt do war. Let's hear from the White House.
You realize we're spending $1 billion every day?
Right, but Epstein Files was trending, and we had to distract the public. By the way, the Dow is almost at 50,000.
The Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit 7,000.
The Dow is over 50,000 right now.
Because here we go, the Dow is now above 50,000.
Broke 50,000 on the Dow, with the Dow going to 50,000. So Dow is at 50,000. It was supposed to be maybe, if we were lucky, within by the end of my presidency in 4 years.
So has anyone told them war crimes don't hide sex crimes?
I don't know. Google Trends says otherwise.
Right? There was more uproar over George Floyd than our politicians eating.
Why they call us goy cattle. Thanks, guys. Good thing the Dow hit 50,000. And if you're still not following Jake GTV, you're probably a total pussy. Definitely a loser, most likely. Retarded.
Oh, man.
You guys psyched about your homeland being bombed or what?
We're finally free!
Congratulations, you made it to the end. That's what I call based. If you want to learn more about the sentient AI being ushered into a city near you, grab my book, The Digital Prison. Otherwise, if you want to keep us on air, just hit the like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Did you demonetize him yet?
Sir, we did. His last 5 of 8 videos.
He's too powerful. Send a false flag to distract the goyim.
We need to take out Jake GTV immediately.
When it
Like,
comes
this
to the
is
situation, things are getting pretty bizarre pretty fast.
This one's for Ches. The alien situation is officially crazier than ever, according to James. Okay, Jay, let's see what you got.
Still having a massive amount of sightings of drones and UFOs all over the world.
Yeah, it's coming into land.
Okay, it's not making any noise now.
What is this? Yo! Look at this!
See that little dot right next to it? Oh, what is that?
¿Alguien sabe qué mierda es eso?
What are you the two down low. Look at the two down low.
I see them. Holy shit, they're bright on the camera.
But it's not just the sightings. Something else started happening last week, and it's pretty bizarre. We had a major general going missing, and some people are speculating that he could have been somehow connected to the so-called alien files and the Roswell crash.
It's continuing to search for a man who held a major role at Kirtland Air Space.
Alongside with this, we have respected people hinting on why this rabbit hole may go even deeper than we could ever imagine.
I'm saying that Bigelow told me that they're walking among us. Because I said, what do you mean by that? He goes, I mean exactly that. They are walking among us.
Several experts hint that the alien topic might actually have something to do with interdimensional beings or even demons.
I do know other exorcists where they would, in session, they would actually, once the demon manifested, they would manifest in literally looking like an alien with the eyes and the small mouth.
But wait, it gets weirder. Last year, these drones and UFOs were supposedly causing interference in electronic equipment. It happened for a period of time and then it stopped, but now it's happening again and no one knows why. Whatever the signal is, it's being heard all over the world, like Japan, Russia, US, and many other countries. And people are now trying to decode this thing, coming up with different results, which is kind of interesting. I mean, could it be connected to the alien situation, or is it just a coincidence? I'm pretty sure it is. But what if it isn't?
This is actually insane. Remember that comet that everybody was losing their minds over, 3I Atlas? They're now saying that Comet 3I Atlas is only 8 days away from a Jupiter flyby that could literally crack it open.
It is being said that 3I Atlas changed.
Like, remember Shoemaker Levy that hit the Jupiter? I mean, I told you, didn't I, about that 3I Atlas? It's just fucking it's just going to go out, you know, skim the Earth's fucking atlas or whatever and go out into deep space. So that's what always happens to these things. I've seen the same event happen 10 times in my lifetime. This asteroid's coming into the solar system and it's nonsense.
Force and velocity in the past few days. Actually, the same week this bizarre interference started happening.
Oh look, did they actually just show it? I missed it. Very quick.
It is being said that
I think that was it. This diagram here was showing you.
Changed its course and velocity in the past few.
Oh, there it is. Look, this is what I've seen loads of times. This is the trajectory of the just missing this, getting flung out into outer space. It's the same story over and over again.
Days. Actually, the same week this bizarre interference started happening, and now there's a theory that this space object might not be a comet after all.
Oh, it's insane.
But the question everyone is asking is why now? Why is this all happening now? Is it a distraction? Is it a coincidence? I mean, where is the missing general? Where are the alien files? Are these things actually demons or interdimensional beings like some say? And why are they here? Why are they showing up now? What exactly is going on? Let's try to find out. Let's begin with the basic, and that would be the most recent sightings. So on March 3rd in San Miguel de Tucumán, Argentina, let's take a look at this.
¿Alguien sabe qué mierda es eso?
Yeah, it looks like it could be a drone show, but at the same time they're moving pretty organically.
It's so annoying. It's just so annoying. If you go back and look at UFO footage, like before all the drones come in, nothing looked like this. This is how you can tell they're drones.
But
very rarely you see it like that.
Last year, let's take a look at this.
You might see some, like there's a couple, I remember
okay, so found
a
this
couple of footages in Brazil, that sort of, quite a few of them.
Video in December 2024.
Very, very rare. But now it's like every single UFO bloody video you see, it's like, they're just drones. They're obvious. Obviously.
In a pretty similar
if there's over one or two of them, there's loads of them like this.
But at the same time, drone shows have pretty obvious formations, which is the case with this video, but not the case with this one. So it could just be that we're looking at the drones or UFOs that we're used to seeing since 2024. So in my previous video, I featured Alistair Dredd. This guy supposedly saw a UFO landing pretty close to his house. He live streamed everything. And because it's so difficult to fake live streams, people were pretty hyped about it.
Dude, do you hear that? I think I gotta cut the live, dude.
It's a pretty interesting story, but it's most likely just an elaborate hoax. But what if it isn't? What if there's other people out there experiencing similar things? So I decided to search around, and I actually found this woman somewhere in Argentina. On the night of January 24th, she saw something landing in her backyard. She lives in the middle of nowhere.
Are these TikTokers? They've got to be TikTokers, aren't they? These TikTokers.
And she starts recording with this thing already there, and she sees something moving in the middle of the woods. Check this out.
La verdad, qué loco todo esto. Uy, boluda.
Wait, what was that? I saw that.
Acabo de ver algo que se movió en las plantas. Un espectro. ¿Qué? Lo tengo captado. Un espectro ahí en las plantas se movió así para allá. Uy, no, esto nunca lo vi. No, acá no, lo tengo captado en cámara, digo. Ya se lo voy a mostrar el video.
I would just grab my mate, grab the camera, let's walk over there. Let's just walk over there and record it. Just literally walk across this field and stand there in this hedge and record it.
2,30 sale el espectro. Qué loco, nunca había captado en vivo.
So what was that thing moving in the background? Looks like a fox, and I'm guessing it is. She states that it was weird. It looked like a ghostly figure or something like that. What's even weirder is that she lives in the middle of nowhere. This is her backyard. This is the daytime view.
It was happening over here in these trees. So why not just walk up here?
No houses, nothing that could explain those lights. So either she has people camping in her backyard, or this was a legit encounter. Posted to Reddit 22 days ago. A strange white object during SpaceX launch over Fillmore, California. This is gonna be good. Let's take a look at this. While watching the rocket, we noticed a solid white dot streaming across the sky. It was moving incredibly fast, almost like a comet. Oh my gosh.
Dude, it's not moving that fast, is it?
Right here.
That's not moving incredibly fast, is it? It's actually going quite slow.
Okay, so this is the launch.
Right here, you got the whole thing.
What is that?
I mean, you know it's moving slow. When you look at Scanner Guy's footage, you know, of these things, and they're darting across the whole screen in seconds. You know, this thing's taking like minutes. It's not moving that quick.
Oh, I see something coming down. Oh, like that. It's separate. See a little dot right next to it? Oh shit, what is that?
Is it supposed to be blinking like that? What is that?
Now that's moving a lot quicker than that object is.
What in the world is that? That's just too fast.
No, this thing isn't moving incredibly fast at all. It's moving very slowly compared to, this is what I was saying.
No. We'll have to look back on the footage.
So this got to be one of the best sightings this year. I'm going to fast forward the video so you can get a better look at what I'm talking about here. But
can this be the best sighting of the year? It's terrible.
This is the launch. You can clearly see that. Then it appears as if the booster or something you can see there blinking just behind it, and they get a good glimpse at it. But then, and I'm thinking this is maybe the UFO. This is already a bit strange. I'm not sure what that is, but it could be the booster. Then this thing swooshes by pretty fast over here. Take a look at that. I'm gonna play the video a little bit. Look at that. What is it doing? Is it following the booster? Is it following the rocket? What in the world is that? This is amazing footage. That has to be really, really fast. How fast is that thing? So the rocket was apparently at 17,000 miles an hour.
Shit.
And then this thing, it swooshes by what? 4 times? 3 times faster?
That rocket is not going 17,000 miles an hour.
I mean,
It's
what
just
is that?
not.
That's going pretty fast. No FAA lights, nothing. Question here is, what exactly is that thing? Was it a UFO, a drone? Was it following the rocket?
I need a drink, guys. Back in a sec.
Was it part of the space launch? It's pretty weird. Let's see what we can find next. So captured by Nate and Jill, this was seen hovering over Santa Fe, New Mexico. A lot of activity in New Mexico lately, huh?
Okay, I'm driving on Shenandoah Drive. There's this light out there.
Okay.
Hovering. I don't know what it is, what it's doing. Sorry for the vibrations. I'm in my car. There's a helicopter nearby. It seems to be watching, monitoring it. There's the helicopter, and you can see he's got a flashing light.
Yeah.
And then there's this guy just sitting there.
Pretty close, huh?
Okay, I pulled over so I could be steady on the camera. That thing is still there. Hasn't moved. It doesn't seem to be getting closer or further.
There's something on top of it. Kind of looks like the same thing we just saw on the previous video.
And there's a helicopter there. He's got a flashing light. And he's been moving around.
Doesn't have any FAA lights. It's not a star. It's not the moon.
It's hovering.
So this thing basically hovering still in the same place. In the end of the video, it kind of swooshes behind the mountain. And you gotta watch the full video on their channel, but it's incredible. This is one heck of a sighting. And this was in Santa Fe, New Mexico, March 3rd. So about 6 days ago, this account posted this video, and this is apparently in Belfast. He says, no planes on the tracker, but this thing just flew over my house. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, it looks like one of those drones. What is this sound? So it could be one of those mystery drones, being that it's not listed in the flight tracker. Question here is it human tech or is it alien tech? And could it be somehow connected to the mystery signal and interferences that people are once again getting on electronic equipment?
What is that?
So this was posted on February 20th by this account, and he was sleeping inside of his car when he suddenly started hearing a strange interference in his radio. Check this out.
What is that?
Yeah, it sounds like the same things that we had last year happening in the radio. Posted a few days ago. Very strange signal heard from all around the world. Handheld radios can pick it up from Japan, Greece, Africa, literally everywhere. Tune your station to 7070. That same day, another signal was captured, but this time on 1626. Check this out.
Hey Sherry, welcome in. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well, Sherry.
So this is kind of weird, but it's still
Stace, welcome in.
Right? But searching a bit more, I found more and more videos.
Bogan, welcome in. Bogan.
This bizarre interference that same day.
Shout out to Santiro. Everyone is still in the happy camper. Big shout out to everyone. Martin, big shout out to Martin in the chat. Obviously, big shout out to all the ladies in the chat. Ashkenazi, that's it. Yeah, Ashkenazi. Yeah, that's it. Guys, I knew I was on the same sort of thing there. Is it Ashkenazis? Yeah, I know it's got Nazi in it.
Enough to trigger a suspicion.
Ashkenazi, yeah. Ashkenazi. I know it's one of those two for
looking
sure.
at it like this, it doesn't make any sense. But this user mirrored it, and it says, plead. This is possibly just a coincidence or a misunderstanding, but it gets weirder.
I think it would be really shocking to a lot of people.
Bigelow say anything about that to you when you were at that meeting? Because he's said that publicly.
Big shout out to Brian.
Well, he didn't say it publicly, but he said it to me. But he didn't tell me not to talk about it.
Waiting for this to go up a bit.
Decade, I was like, I'm going to talk about it. He said they're walking among us. And again, to your audience, James Fox says they're walking among us. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well, let's get back to it.
I'm saying that Bigelow told me that they're walking among us. Because I said, what do you mean by that? He goes, I mean exactly that. They are walking among us. And if that's true, boy, that would be a shocker.
So this interview dropped 4 days ago on this YouTube channel, and I recommend watching it. But the question here is, what are we walking amongst us? What are we talking about here? Aliens, little green men, or what?
I do know other exorcists where they would, in session, they would actually, once the demon manifested, they would manifest in literally looking like an alien with the eyes and the small mouth and the whole bit turning gray. And they even call themselves gray, and they try and lie to the exorcist by saying, oh, well, we're not angels, good angels, and we're not bad angels, we're not demons, we're kind of in the middle, we're neither good nor bad. No, dude, you're just a demon, right? Because when you start talking to him, it's all that is a diversionary tactic.
Wait a minute, he's describing something pretty similar to a jinn. So jinn are supernatural beings originated from Arabic mythology, believed to be created from smokeless fire. And in certain cultures, they're described as an intelligent class of beings that existed alongside humanity. Wait a second. Oh my gosh, this was posted 6 years ago to Paranormal. Our army unit encountered a jinn. The unit was deployed to Danana on April 2006. We were in a total of 5 people. The Humvee in front of us stopped hard. We all figured it was a possible IED or something like that. And then someone on the radio says, something flew in front of us. So they continue. Just then in the desert off the Humvee was a black figure. It looked like a huge bird. It looked like smoke was emitting from it. Blackish, greenish, with a bit of a blue tinge. So they encountered a jinn and they had PTSD because of this. Oh my gosh, there are hundreds of these stories. I'm guessing they could be fake, but what?
They got PTSD. They're in a fucking war in Iraq, you know, bombing and getting bombed out and all this, but they get PTSD when they see this shadowy thing fly in front of their car. That's how they get Shut up.
What if it isn't? It could explain why the topic is so sensitive. So wait a second.
Idiotic.
The interferences in the radio stations, could it be that these things are trying to contact us? And are we talking about jinn? It's pretty weird how this thing that we hear in the radio in 2025, it kind of sounds like a creature talking. I mean, like, most likely just a coincidence or a glitch. But then you have this one happening this year, and it sounds pretty similar.
What is that?
I mean, it's pretty scary to think that this could actually be some sort of jinn or alien creature trying to contact us through the radio stations. And then we got these bizarre signals, and then we got the massive amount of sightings that are happening, and the subject that somewhat seems to be censored, and a missing general. I mean, what exactly is going on? Leave a comment. What do you think? Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and I'll see you guys this week.
James, that was a pretty poor episode. Cheds, I don't think Cheds would be happy with that episode. It was pretty bad. Right, let's check out. Aldo died, that's it. Another 20-minute vid. Takes us to about 10:02. Then Lev takes us to about 20 past.
This is Australia. This is what Australia looks like. This is a map from 1845. And as you can see, it's got the, the traditional shape of Australia, the shape that we've been shown our whole lives. But how long has Australia actually been like this? How long has it been this size and this shape? This is a map from 1587, the Monty Planisphere, And as you can see, we've got Africa, South America, and so around here we have Asia. Okay, so this is where Australia should be. But as you can see, there is a landmass there, but it does not look like Australia, like the Australia that we've been shown. This map is dated 1519, and it's the same thing. What we get here is we've got Africa, India, so this is Asia, and there's no Australia. But you can see on this one, this is an earlier map. This land actually goes right up the circle of the Earth, right, and right up here. You can see there's even land. It's almost completely encircled by land.
This is Brazil
this is Brazil, so
Yeah.
that would be South America, and that would, I guess, be the Straits of Magellan.
Ethiopia, Libya.
And this, what this is all these land masses that we saw on the first map. Okay, so the Earth that we know, the realm has been changing, right? Again, no
India,
Australia, but a lot of
Asia.
islands. This is a map from 1607. And again, where is Australia? Australia should be here. And as you can see, they have called it Terra Australis, this landmass, which goes across both, all both circles of the Earth. This is obviously, the way the map's drawn, but you can see across the whole bottom
Nubia,
here, we have one piece of land called Terra Australis Incognito, unknown. And up here we have New Guinea. All right, and New Guinea exists today above Australia. This is a map from 1599, and again, no Australia, like Australia should be here. All we have is this massive landmass going across the bottom, right? This is how they're drawing it, obviously as a globe. And over here we have New Guinea. And again, New Guinea is now above Australia. It's a small island above Australia, but there is no Australia here. This map is 1684, and it's an interesting one because we can see the outlines down here of some land masses, right? We've got New Guinea as an island over here. Down here we've got New Zealand.
Oh, that is, Zealand.
Zealander Newer. And that's kind of where it would be. And I'm not sure if this is the top of Australia here, or at least what was there when they made this map. But if we come over the other side as well, it's still called Terra Australis, but now Terra Magellan.
I thought that looked a bit like it there, actually.
Australia Incognito. So basically that's from Magellan saying he's discovered it. So we have this down here, right? But look at what we have up here.
Nova Orlando.
The new land.
That looks more like
land of Concordia. And starting to see a bit of the traditional shape of Australia. Okay, so again, something has gone on here. This map is from 1722, and as you can see, well, it's not complete, but there's definitely nothing at the bottom here. Okay, we've just got the circle of the Antarctic, so they knew there was something there, but they weren't showing us. But all of this landmass across the bottom, including Australia, which should be here, has disappeared. This map is 1730, and as you can see, there's nothing at the bottom. They've just taken it off, so there's no.
Oh, that's in 1730.
Landmass, around the outside or at the bottom of this.
It's not even, Australia's not even on the map.
So there is no Australia at all in this map.
Wasn't this a thing I remember years ago, back in the day, didn't someone bring this up? There was no Australia. There's no Australia on the map. I'm sure it was a thing. Anyone else remember in the chat? We're going back probably like 8 years or something, 8, 9 years. I'm sure there was someone out there saying there was no Australia doesn't exist. I'm sure of it.
Map is dated 1597.
Maybe he was on the something back then. Oh, who knows, man?
As you can see down here, Terra Australis. Okay, but now it's drawn
Look at it,
on the
shape
bottom of a globe. Okay, so instead of the land going around the outside, as we saw in the first map, they've basically turned it into a continent sitting at the bottom of their globe. But still, no landmass of the Australia that we know today. Now, this map is dated 1589, so earlier than the last one, and finally we have something that resembles Australia.
This is India, though.
So there is some difference in the dating on these maps, and that could be down to the fact that they just put the wrong dates on them, or they don't know the correct dates, or probably what's happened is the information that was coming in took a while to get around, right? Because most maps are made off previous, what they call source maps. And so that's why we get the Australia here around the same time that we also see all the land masses around the outside. So something has gone on here with our realm, like the land masses have changed. And you can see this in other continents as well, like South America, North America, even Africa changes its shape. It looks like we've been inundated by something, maybe a flood. And the dating on these maps is pointing to this flood, this deluge, being, not 6,000 years ago, but more like 500 or 600 years ago. This map is 1636. Again, no land at the bottom anymore. That's all gone. And Australia, now New Holland, is starting to form the traditional shape.
New Guinea
and here
above
we have
it.
New Guinea above it. This map is 1652, and here we go. So we've got, a fairly traditional outline of Australia, not quite what we see today, but interestingly, it is connected to land that goes up the top here, right? Bit of a break there, but definitely to this. And you can see there's a river marked here, water plateaus, rivers, reservoirs. So this has been mapped.
Into
I know where the rivers are. But look, it's attached to Australia. That is not there anymore.
Goes down.
So down here we have a bigger map, and there you go, New Holland, right? And I'm not sure where these natives are supposed to be from, as they are drawn inside Australia. And what do we have?
It doesn't matter.
Elephants.
It doesn't matter. The invader, just wipe them all out. That's what the invaders might do.
Right? And some people who are not looking like the natives that we are told are the natives, like the Aboriginals. Right? More elephants. Deer. What's that, a rhinoceros or something? So totally different. We're told that there's only marsupials in Australia, and that's because it was detached from the other land masses for so long. So what are they trying to tell us in this map? And this map is 1690, and again, all the land masses at the bottom here gone. We do have New Zealand, one of the coasts of New Zealand. And over here, there is another bit down here, a bit of an island edge there. But Australia really starting to look like the traditional shape, although Australia is, sort of pointy and looks a lot wider than it is today. And again, we have this bit going up the side here, right, all marked off with towns and rivers. And it looks like it continues to go right up into New Guinea. So again, the land masses have changed, especially Australia. This shaped continent did not exist in the earlier maps. If you look at the 1500s,
Sea
early
levels
1600s,
rose.
it's
There's
not
a big
there on
catastrophe,
any
some
of them.
sort of huge
And then
flood.
it
Yeah, you're
starts to
gonna
appear slowly in the 1600s.
be huge
And
changes
this
to
map
the land
is
masses.
1690, as you can see up here, Grand
India looks pretty good.
Tartaria. Okay, a lot of the
Arabia.
land masses looking different. A lot more islands out here off Africa. India looks different.
Oh, this is where Iran is today. Persia. Persia, wasn't it, before? Empire de Persia. Persia. That was Iran, wasn't it? Persia? I'm sure it was. Someone in the chat I'm probably wrong. Don't quote me on that. Well, I'm sure Persia was Iran. So look, this is what I mean. These places have been around for such a long time.
You know, the
I
islands.
just think America must get a bit jealous, and Israel, and that their country's only 200 years old or 300 years old, so they go and pick on Iran. They've been around for donkey's years. We're jealous that you're older than us.
Around the South Pacific, much bigger than they are today. And we have the top of Australia.
Mogul? Is that Mongol or Mogul? Northern India Empire. What's that? Grand. Interesting map, this one, actually.
Much bigger than they are today. And we have the top of Australia.
Got this connection.
But still connected up here. Now, this could be the Cape York Peninsula, right? But still doesn't look a lot, you know, it's too wide. Like it doesn't quite look like Australia. So this is, 1690, right? So it's about, what, 330 years ago or something, and we still don't have the proper shape. Of course, they say Australia was discovered in the 1600s by the Dutch, and then Captain Cook got out here in 1770, and in 1788 it was declared a British colony. So the question is,
good old Brits, the good old Brits,
this,
it's going around colonising willy-nilly.
That's where Australia should be, to the maps of today, where Australia is a much different place. It's a good question, and what it looks like's happened is these lands on the outside, they turned into the land across the bottom of the globe, because this is obviously drawn as a circle, a flat plane. And as we go further in time, it turns into a globe, and all of these lands around the outside are conglomerated into one landmass
Australia.
at the bottom of the ball. And that's why, these maps are showing this land, but they're showing it.
Oh, is that what they've done? They took all this land and made it into Australia. They've done?
In a different format. So what it looks like has happened is this landmass here.
Because they've got to put it onto a globe, right? Think about that. They've got to have it, so it's got to be one. All this kind of what they do with Antarctica right now, right? Is that ice right around, but they've got on a globe. It has to be an actual continent, so they've got to. Maybe they did the same thing with these land masses around here with Australia.
Has sunk or been inundated, and Australia would be around here. Right, this is the Tropic of Capricorn, which does go through northern Australia. And so this is Australia, and New Zealand would be part of this landmass as well. Are there more land masses off the west coast of Australia? I'm not sure, but I have seen maps that show a continent out here. And what's interesting is if you zoom in here, apart from the griffins and well, I guess they're griffins too, dragons, we have a camel and we have rabbits.
Show us the zesty mermen frolicking around in the waters. I mean, what's going on in 1587, man? This zestiness going on.
Australia has the largest feral camel population in the world. We actually now export camels to the Middle East. And we also have the largest feral rabbit population in the world. And we're told that the rabbits, just jumped on boats and hitched a ride, and the camels were brought over. Is that true, or were they already here?
No, you got to dig a hole for me. No, I'm off to Australia. I'll see you later.
Is the question.
There's a couple of these zesty ones doing weird stuff.
And here we have what looks like might be a possum, which we do have in Australia. And an interesting thing is the people of this land.
This all just cracks me up, man. I mean, what is going on in 1587?
And
look at these characters at the bottom.
An interesting thing is the people of this.
This is. I mean, you got this dude's head right next to his arse and genitals for some reason. I don't know what this dude's doing. You got this dude that looks like he's sort of bending over, and this dude's approaching him. You've got a voyeur dude here who just likes to watch. You've got this weirdo looking in the mirror. I mean, what is going on in 1587? A bunch of zestiness.
Land. I don't know if these are people or if they're some kind of primate. We have some people here, but they're drawn light skinned.
Show them
it's
the
full
zesty
New Guinea
mermen.
here. You can see New Guinea
They're
is now above
hilarious.
Australia. So it's very interesting, but the point of this video is to show you that Australia is a new land, like less than 500 years old, according to these maps, at least in the shape it is. So this middle bit would be old, right? A very old land. And the rest sunk away, and New Zealand got a bit of the land here. I do find it interesting, though, that there are no cities drawn
There's
on
the
this
zesty
land. Now,
mermen
does that
down
mean
there.
maybe it was unexplored and they just didn't have the information? I mean, that could be it. Because clearly there are old world cities and towns in Australia. They're everywhere, all the old world buildings. And as you can see up here, they show the old world buildings. So that's a little bit of anomaly, right? But it looks like this is Australia and the rest has gone into the sea, apart from New Zealand. And I just want to show you up here, Japan on this map. There it is there. This is Japan. Well, Japan's actually this little bit here, right, that's left. This went under as well. And what I find interesting about this is off the coast of Japan, probably around here somewhere, there is a sunken temple or city called Yonaguni.
Yonaguni, yeah. I remember seeing that years ago. It's just off the coast, isn't it? All the steps and all the structure, the big stone blocks, and all perfectly. Looks like there's steps going up. Pretty interesting place. Go and check that out.
Is that one of
Yonaguni.
these cities that is now on the bottom of the ocean? And if that's true, how many more are out there?
Sisi.
Right? It's an interesting question because we have sunken cities all over the realm. They're definitely off the coast of India, and this
off the
India.
coast of India. I've seen those ones as well, right down at the bottom here, off the coast.
Okay, bit of a different shape. But when the tsunami hit, I think it was around 2000, 2001, in the Bay of Bengal in here, they saw cities. And on this map, you can see this whole coastline is decked with cities. So
because you get the outwash with a tsunami. What happens first before the wave comes in? The sea retreats. It can retreat out loads as well, and it just reveals everything on the seabed. So that was a massive tsunami, right? What's he talking about? The 2005 one when it hit India. It was pretty crazy. Some of that footage is insane, actually. That's a possibility.
Has changed. If some of this land here went underwater, these would be the cities that people were seeing and that were found submerged in the Bay of Bengal.
Okay.
And the other one that I'll point out is Africa. So this is Africa. This is the Delta and Nile, right? The Nile River, Cairo. Interesting.
Pyramids, is it on there?
That the pyramids are more up here, not down here. Okay, so this is Memphis. And it looks like it's showing us pyramids, tall, skinny pyramids like we find in Ethiopia, but none up here at Giza. So that's interesting. But also, they have found sunken cities off the coast of Egypt in the Mediterranean, right? The most famous one being Alexandria. And what do we have out here in the Delta Islands? But cities. Okay, so did these all go under in the deluge? And that's why we're finding sunken cities there. Because we find these everywhere. The other one, I guess, that most people have heard of would be Bimini, right? The Bimini Road, which is off the coast of the US, right? Sort of Cuba. And again, if we look at here, look at Florida. It's like it's now called the Panhandle because it's like literally a skinny handle. Look how fat it is there. Much more land. Cuba, much bigger than it is today. So again, does this mean we've lost land here and around here? And so these cities here are underwater. Is that the Bimini Road?
There, look.
Is that why we find cities underwater everywhere? But I mean, the fact that we find any cities underwater tells us that there has been a deluge, a flood, that the lands have changed. They've either been flooded out or they've sunk underwater, and they have taken the cities with them. Right? I mean, clearly
I'd
that's
say
the
the
answer.
water
So
rised a
when
lot
we
more
look into these
logical
old
than
maps, and we see maps like this with all the land around the outside,
whole
and the
city's
maps that show
just
all the land across the
land masses
bottom,
falling into the
they're
ocean.
showing us, they're telling
Obviously,
us
the water
that
rise
in the
somehow.
past, 400 or 500, maybe 600 years ago, they knew there was more land. There was more land, and something has happened, and we have lost a lot of land, and it has ended up with a lot of these cities being submerged, and with Australia here being formed. So I guess the question is as well is what's happened to all these other lands around the outside? Are there more land masses, continents, islands further out?
It's kind of, yeah, it makes sense. They take all these land masses and make them into one land mass, put it on the globe, right? Like they did with Antarctica and the so-called ice ring around. Made it into Antarctica, put it onto a globe. Maybe they did the same with that.
Because
that
taking
makes
the
sense,
information
actually.
that these maps
They would
give
do that.
us, it would seem that way. So there you go, guys. I just wanted to show you that the maps of the world that we can access, they're showing us the history, that it was a much bigger place, much more land, and there has been some cataclysm of some kind of deluge or land sinking or something major has gone on. So please let me know your thoughts on this. Do you have any other interesting maps that show this? Because I've only shown a selection. There are, I don't know how many, but I would say at least hundreds that show the land mass across the bottom of the ball. And we've definitely, got this one with the land around the outside. It's the only one I've been able to find so far that's a flat map that shows this land. But there are also a few others. There's one that was found in Japan. It was printed in a newspaper early last century, and it showed extra land outside of this central region, which we are told is the world, right? The ball world. That's all the land there is. And of course, people often ask, with the flat earth, why would they hide the earth? Well, here's one reason, so they can hide other lands where maybe they're still functioning as old world cities with free energy. Maybe there's a lot of resources. Maybe this is where extraterrestrials live, in the extra territory, right? And they can just fly into the center and fly back out. Okay, no, million light years to travel or any of this kind of stuff. Maybe that's why we're seeing all this activity in the air and also from the ocean, right? Coming through under the ocean and then flying
they're
around.
familiar.
Does that mean there's a dome? I don't know. I don't know where the dome would fit in exactly on this map. Is the dome new as well? If it's there, maybe it was placed, again, 400 or 500 years ago.
Does it have to be a physical solid dome, though?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be a physical solid dome.
Let me know your thoughts on
Again,
this.
we're
What do
trying to
you
work out why we got pressure here using human thinking.
think? Now, I've been following this, sort of track of thinking for a while now, but there is another good video put out. Just Google Captain Gun.
There's obviously some sort of physics in this realm. We just don't fully comprehend or understand it. We don't even understand why the fucking sun and the moon are basically floating in our atmosphere. Can't even work that out. So, trying to work all this sort of stuff out, it's just not going to...
And he also goes
pointless.
into this and the land.
Just accept the realm for what it is, a flat level plane, and let's try and work it out what we can, with the tangibles that are here.
An interesting video worth a watch. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. And obviously, guys, please give me a like, share this video around, help get it out there, to let people know that the world that we've been taught about, that is our home, the maps we've been shown and the land masses, if it's true now, because I'm sure they're not all accurate,
It's all lies,
but
guys.
it was
Everything
definitely
we've
a
been
different
taught.
realm 400 or 500 years ago, right, when these maps were drawn in the 15 and 1600s. So leave me your comments, let me know your thoughts, link anything that's interesting that you found, and stay awesome. I'll talk to you on the next upload. Bye for now.
That's a didactic stuff.
Nobody wins.
Let's check out Lev, Chi Creation, The Flat Earth Psyop, and War on Spirit. What part is this? Part 7. Hang on. We was only on part. What part was we on? 3 or 4? I've missed that loads of parts. I'll have to go back and get them, Lev.
Chi Creation, The Flat Earth Psyop, and The War on Spirit, Part 7. So, we've got a necklace.
Yeah, we was only on part 3, wasn't we?
Missing the cross, but
How did I miss
it's almost
all those?
like a new inventive, torturous idea, you know? Like, you know, being held by chains and in that kind of sense. Brightness on phone takes it away a bit. So we've got this symbol, so we can see the cross. We also got the X, and so we've got the both the personalities, like the Jesus and
In a
the
sec,
devil.
guys, got to do something.
I consider that, like, both of them together is that another personality in itself. So then that's how you got like the Trinity. And also considering the Jesus is the false face. So like when you meet somebody who's trying to con you, they're giving you that false face. Like we mentioned in previous episodes about like trust and, you know, oh, have faith in me, you know, you can trust me, you know, and then, you know, once they're gone, you know what I mean, or whatever and stuff. But so then when you see it like that, you can notice like the witchcraft element of things, which is another topic I need to talk about. You see here, like, see, I ain't got a problem with witchcraft, witches, rather, because like in terms of like the individual that's seeking spiritual enlightenment, all right, and that's one of the pathways. So somebody seeking enlightenment, there's no problem with that, you know, right? The difference is if you've got somebody who's got a mental illness, especially, you know, I mean, this is what this comes from, like on previous episodes again, oh, you know, allowing that spirit into your heart may be the cause for those mental illnesses. So when you've got people practicing witchcraft, and they're a psychopath, then that's when they're going to do harm, you know? Like, I mean, they don't have to be a witch. You get psychopaths that do harm without witchcraft. You know what I mean? It's going to, like, either way, it's like if they intended to do harm, you know, whether it's like magic or physical, you know, and that's like, you know, kind of a big difference in a way, but at the same time, they still intended to do the harm, you know? It's like, you know, it's like maybe they could do a spell and do it wrong, not realise they've done it wrong, but they still had that intention, you know? It's still that bad intention. So that's mental illness. I mean, people like that, they belong in a mental home, you know? That's look at the difference in it and stuff. I mean, you know, in any sense of like trying to affect other people's lives, like even a love spell can take someone off their natural life path, you know, so that's still manipulation of somebody else, you know. It's like in terms of using spells on other people, even, I don't know, I'm not sure about like on yourself or all that kind of thing. Like, I'm not really a professor of spell work. But in the general sense of like witches and all that kind of stuff, they're not the bad ones, especially in the old term of a word. because like in the old term of the word, that was a wise woman, you know. So these were the ones which used the natural remedies of the land to heal you. Whereas like now we've replaced that with pharmaceutical industry, which really is witchcraft. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that we use, and you know, it's literally like witchcraft, like some of the ingredients and such. So yeah. So we've got this one. Jesus is Lord, which means Baal. Satan has been telling us who he is for years. We just haven't been listening. Lord means Baal. And I saw that on Ken's, what it this morning? Yeah. Like 22 hours ago, this morning, that kind of way. Which also showed that, because we're burning the Baal statue, and they also told you on that documentary or news broadcast that Lord and Baal are like the same thing, or what it means. So, Baal, Jesus, you know what I mean, when you're saying Lord Jesus. It's a bit loose because, you know, we've got like the English meaning to the word Lord, you know, but at the same time, it fits because, like, you could just see Baal as one of the other personalities. So, like, the split personality. So, oh, blurry. So you got God in center. It's not having it. So that's how Trinity is supposed to work. The Father is not the Son, and the Son is not the Holy Spirit, but the Son is the God, and the Holy Spirit is the God, and all that kind of thing. So, like, again, in terms of split personality, once, you know, he thinks he's that person, then he's not that person and that person because he thinks he's that person. Where's mouse gone? My phone went away, I couldn't see it. So it's another example, you know, it shows you the same way, but you got your hexagram instead and stuff. And also in terms of religions, because, like, I mean, you know, it's Christianity mainly with this series, but I believe it branches out to the other Abrahamic religions. So then, like, you've got your other versions of Jesus and all these kind of things and stuff, like Muhammad is supposed to be Jesus, or all that kind of stuff. So in terms of, I think, you know, those three religions, like Jewish and Muslim and Christianity, like the split personalities of that Trinity. You know, they're intended to, like, contradict each other. So, you know, it kind of causes wars or all that kind of thing. So, if we hide half of it, we can see the fish. So, we said about being trapped, didn't we? And so, in the same sense, you're still trapped. You can't get to rest at flower of life with it. It could be like a roller coaster of going through the different personalities of this god, this undead god thing. You know, for eternity, like going through the different cycles of it, it'd be kind of really tormenting. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, once you get used to the torments of that realm, you'd go into the next one and experience the torments of that and such. We'll ring round it as well. So you got it there, but you got the pyramid reference and all. So I don't know if, you know, if that, like, connected with Luciferian aspect towards it. So yeah, it's that split personality. It just seems to explain it a bit better. Like the difference in terms of with my series, like I'm trying to say it's male and female, because when we saw like Christian, it implied it's just male, right? But with my creation series, I'm like showing it's male and female, but two separate individuals, like in love with each other in that way, right? So like they come together, and that's like the yin yang. And then like each side of a yin yang coming together makes the whole another aspect. So like you've got like a trinity there. And also in terms of like the trinity, it exists in Celtic mythology as well. Actually it were originally Celtic. It when Romans came across, but they adapted it to Christianity. So like like the original meanings in terms of the Celtic meanings for it and stuff, I still think that's applicable. The Celtic stuff changed. You could become like Celtic Christian and all that kind of stuff as like the changes went over years and stuff, and then it kind of like you barely know anybody who's Celtic now. Wrong way again. Actually, I didn't finish that other thing that I was saying. Oh, Krishna, split personalities, trinities. So with a Christian one, I see it very really different. It's more like it's like three men have come together and formed a unity in that kind of sense. Or it could be two, and then, the both of them make the one. It was like at the end of that documentary, the End Times thing. It only said two people. It said Jesus and the devil, what it? I can't remember now. But, and also that Jesus revealed himself at that point. So, it's kind of like, what's his true identity and all these kind of things and stuff. But, so yeah, like these three gods come together, or two, whichever. So then you've got your Baphomet, right? And is there a female in there? Or is that just part of its trans identity? I think that's the most appropriate way to put it. Because it could be, you know what I mean? Because if he were just male, then he needed to adapt the female into himself to create, his own realm, or to become, the yin and yang of himself and stuff like. But it's corrupt, Jesus first for you. So again, the vampire element of stuff. Jesus First Weekly. I think it's a magazine, but at the same time, Jesus First for America. I First, 7 good words. These were his last words before he passed away. Father, forgive them. Woman, behold your son. Today you will be with me in paradise. It is finished. Which is his last words. That one is, it is finished. My God, why have you forsaken me? Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. Today you will be with me in paradise. See, what does that mean, really? You know what I mean? It's like his last words. My God, why have you forsaken me? So we're losing faith as well. You see, someone who's losing faith in spirit then turns away to escape his sins and have eternal life under the person that offers it. not opposite. It sounded a bit like if we were a P and a... But, to fulfill the scripture, he said, I first. You got John. Seven last words of Jesus Christ. Fifth word is I first. But like the previous one, to fulfill the scripture, he said. And it's got the John reference. I don't know if that's the same. Is that like when, you know, because there's other reference to first. Seven last words, I first. That's what I discovered. I don't know. I think. So 1928 is that one. I'm short of one. It could be. It's difficult to tell. I think it is. 1928. I am thirsty. It's different to I first, though. But still, in terms of, you know, vampire, I mean, there's so many other references which kind of go with it. I mean, if you don't cross up there all day and stuff like that kind of thing, it's not going to be long until you're thirsty. But so more creepy stuff. Less bloody. I think I've done with blood now. I think we've done enough episodes of showing that I don't want to be causing health problems for people and stuff like. So this is the Trinity Church in London. So what's this got to do with Christianity? For one thing, it reminded me of my first series, The War on Nature, and we're discussing like the potential for the mother tree to actually have a heart. You know, I mean, it could have been passed at root systems, or even extended into the body of tree as such, in terms of like, you know, how it's going to like produce life, and like for the flowers to produce creatures of more of a formidable size, you know, like insects and all that kind of stuff, and there's all grass seeds which were compared and how they look so similar for their reproductive systems. Then when we look at our reproductive systems, it's more like a flower head. So when we compare it in those kind of ways, I mean, we are flesh, you know, and this kind of looks fleshy. It looks tree-like and fleshy. It doesn't look like a good tree. You know, there's no leaves, it's strange. And if it's roots, I sometimes consider, is it upside down? You know? Like an inverted, because it's something to do with them. But yeah, like I said, like trying to make it associate it with my Origins of Life series is one thing, but what's the truth? Because I don't really know, you know? It just looks really strange. Oops, wrong way. That's the Trinity. He's got the blue, like the peacock feather. You got the pyramid over him, and that's the free nice and unsigned. So there's another picture of it. You know, like texture on it and stuff. So, the statue of Lucifer in Holy Trinity Church, Marylebone, London. I think I have heard of it. I might have even seen it, you know, in pictures or something like that, but grainy and years ago or something. It took me by surprise when I first saw it the other day, though. Like it's got its eye. You see pupil, iris, and pupil. It's quite a drastic sculpture. Like its wings and stuff. So, more churches and bones. You like, look at it all. There's quite a lot. Like all of them skulls. Oh, these are skulls between here. It's a lot of skulls. You know, like all up here and stuff. It's like, you know, you count them all. It's all we can see, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know, what's around the corner and etc. Oh, wrong way again. You see, my expectation would be for something dark to decorate this way. Something with a disturbed conscience, a disturbed soul. I mean, what is that, just a pile? Or is that an unfinished wall?
Sorted.
I mean, you know.
I'd like to get that sorted quickly.
People in cloaks as well.
What have I missed? Loads up there. I've missed quite a bit, haven't I?
Manor, Poland.
I have to go back and watch it live.
On this display. 21,000 hidden in the cellar. They may be the saints who were killed by commands of the popes of Rome. I wonder if they had a reason, because that's a lot. And so then, you know, the saints who were killed by the commands of the popes of Rome. So, you know, because the need blood for vampires. And if the vampires running around the streets trying to catch people, then everyone's gonna figure it out. But this way, by controlling the people, the governments and the media and all these kind of things, even though in past media were kind of different, we still did it, you know. I mean, you know, maybe this had nothing to do with vampires and stuff kind of thing, like, but at the same time, there is still that potential. A lot of them are like really small pictures, but that's where it is.
Oh, look at that.
comes out and there's another building there.
Good place. Build out on top.
Yeah, we were inside there on that previous picture. We're looking up. Oh, he's got the cross there. Yeah, symbolising death in bone and the symbol itself.
Making sure the chat's okay.
Is it like dressed up like death? You know? That's a bit grainy. But we've seen it anyway.
Yeah, seems to be cool.
So once again, all built out of bone. Another one.
Oh, Forever Love's visited one of these skull chapels, Portugal. Cool. What was that experience like, Forever?
So you got
pretty creepy, wasn't
it? The ossuary is a place used for the storage of bones. It can be as small as a wooden box or as large as a city. In the catacombs beneath Paris, there are bones of an estimated 6 million people who died in the city over the centuries. Over the centuries, 6 million. It's it's a big number. To store so many bones in one place, they have been neatly organised along the walls. At the ossuary in Sedlec, the bones are put to a more artistic use. An artistic use, you know.
Like disrespect.
Exactly.
Like disrespect the dead. Got a crown with across shapes with bones, human bones. Look at this.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't give a fuck. They don't
if you're
care.
Gonna scare your children, taking them to this place where there's skulls all the time, and you know. I mean, what about the spirits, which are potentially contained herein? You know,
everything.
Because like the point of a finger at like.
I've seen the Baphomet head in there as well. The horns. Horns, like, you know, the Baphomet shape. See these arches, they sort of come down to a point. Turned it upside down. Oh. Seen something.
Because like the point of a finger at like spiritual people for using tarot cards and such.
Dead,
you know what I mean?
Again, is this all part of the reset when they reset it all? 6 million people dying of centuries. Probably a lot earlier, a lot shorter than that.
One as well. Same picture.
Something to do with the flood or something, or cataclysm, or
yeah,
silica of Ursula.
An abundance of these. I think this one, it looks like a sculpture rather than an actual dead person. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it does look like a sculpture. It looks a bit silly. That looks a bit more serious. So again, it's like this really creepy aspect to all, you know, Christianity, like having all these things.
Very creepy town. Hey Tommy, welcome in. Great to see you.
With death is quite an important person, apparently. And they're probably real as well. You know, most of the other ones are. That looks like it's carved. But still. That's probably carved. got this. We saw it a second ago, didn't we? Different angle. But what we've got death, and then he's got these scissors, and you can see there's a chain.
Like a plum.
So
plum bob.
Take a closer look at that. It's right in there, you know, so it's part of the design of it.
What is that actually?
Take a closer look at that. That's probably carved.
There's a weight on the end. On a string. A plum bob?
We've got this.
Probably
We saw
not.
it a second ago, didn't we? Different angle. But what we've got death, and then he's got these scissors, and you can see there's a chain. So take a closer look at that. It's right in there, you know, so it's part of the design of it. It's coming down. It's all onto this weight pendulum kind of thing, and then other one. You can see it going down there, holding onto this. I'm not sure what that references, but in one sense, it's like that spirit, and that's like a shard of light that's shot off. And it's silver thread which comes back to that. Whereas like then you got death cutting it off, freeing the individual from their sin and the karma that they'd get. Instead, they free themselves and they become the belonging of the new god, and then spend an eternity in damnation, constant suffering, wishing to die, all these kind of things. So again, you got the cross and you got the X.
Skull and bones, right?
So skull and bones, the relationship. We showed you the 322 skull and bones pictures.
You're infatuated with skull bones, skull and bones, and bones and blood, human blood. These people. Completely fascinated. Types. Know what types I'm talking about?
One of those dead people in church got a glass and something in it. It looks powdery, like dust. But we've just got a thing on top so it can't go in. And that's got an X over it. It might be I can't tell if it's got a crucifix and an X. I can see the X is out there over that line, but I'll come back to that. Run out of time. But yeah, we'll get back to it. I'll continue on next episode. So nice one. Thank you for watching. And
good stuff, Liv. I'll have to go back and check the rest of that out. I've missed it, and I'll have to get the ones. So we missed. What did we miss? 4, 5, and 6. Missed. I have to go back and. This is Nick Fouquet. Big shout out to Nick. Hope you're doing well, Nick.
Hello,
Listening.
Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. A lot of people will spend their entire lives never even beginning to question the official narratives that we hear, and they won't question the so-called scientific consensus that we live on a spherical Earth, assumed to be another planet spinning at about 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, orbiting a massive sun 93 million miles away. Now, the thing is, when you do start to question the official narrative and scientific consensus, you end up getting mixed answers, which are often just compartmentalized scientific explanations, as they say. But when you try to put some of those explanations side by side and compare them, they often contradict each other. And they often contradict the reality that we see, experience, and measure. So one of the fundamental scientific explanations that contradicts other compartmentalized explanations is related to the Coriolis effect, and how we see that apparently happening with Foucault's pendulum, which is a long pendulum suspended from a ceiling, and it is said to be just going back and forth in a straight line. However, to us, it appears to do a circle and knock down pins as it completes this circle over the space of 24 hours, because the Earth is said to be rotating underneath this freely suspended object. Now, you could already dispute that by just examining and studying how pendulums actually work in reality. And it's very difficult to get a pendulum to actually go in a straight line back and forth. They do tend to go in circles, and if it's very short, that circle will be very brief. But if the pendulum is very long, then it will take a lot longer to make that circuit. So Foucault could have just made a pendulum that was long enough and heavy enough to do a circle over the course of 24 hours because it's moving so slowly. And of course it is assisted in its swings with magnets just to keep that momentum going. But that was one of the first experiments to really make it appear as if the Earth is spinning beneath freely suspended objects. This is before aircraft came along, really, or even before the jet age for sure. So then let's take that as a given, for example, that the Earth does spin
making an eye.
Objects that are in the air or freely suspended above the Earth. And we can take that theory and apply it to ballistics. For example, if a sniper has to fire a gun, it is said that that sniper has to compensate for the Earth spinning beneath the bullet that would have been fired in a straight line and will continue to go in a straight line, but will not meet its target if the Earth is spinning beneath it. Now, okay, in theory, that would maybe fit with the Foucault's pendulum, but in practice, in reality, there are no snipers and there are no ballistics experts that ever have to actually compensate for curvature. They just fire directly at their target. Of course, there are various factors involved, but none of those factors are anything to do with the Earth curving or indeed spinning beneath the ballistic missile or the bullet that is traveling in a straight line, and will meet its target if it is aimed at that target. So we have an explanation that fits with that first fundamental one of the Foucault's pendulum, but it doesn't really actually happen in reality. And of course, when we have a helicopter in the air or a hot air balloon or even an aircraft, there is no compensation for any spin or curvature when flying. A helicopter will hover and the Earth will not spin beneath it. And a hot air balloon will get carried along by the winds, not with any relation to whether the Earth is moving underneath it. So for all intents and purposes, everything we do on or above the Earth is done as if the Earth is level and stationary. So when reality demonstrates to us that there is no Coriolis effect present, then we get another compartmentalized explanation that does contradict the original Foucault's pendulum explanation that the Earth spins beneath the pendulum, because then we're told that, oh, the atmosphere is stuck to the globe Earth and spins with it, which is basically to say that it's the same as being stationary. And there is no Coriolis effect all of a sudden. And I've even heard it say that ballistics and aircraft are treated differently, but the fact that an aircraft has its own thrust and can go in any direction it likes means that we can and should be able to go with or against the spin that is assumed to be happening, whether the atmosphere is or isn't stuck to the Earth. But we know that that doesn't happen to the air. As we know with balloons that get carried along with the winds going in all directions, nothing is sticking to the Earth in that respect, and nothing is rotating with an assumed rotating Earth either. The Earth is stationary, and the winds travel across the Earth in all directions, regardless of any assumptions that the Earth is spinning. So all of these explanations start to conflict with each other and with reality. And we know, for example, that aircraft go in a straight line from their departure point to a waypoint or their destination in a straight line. They never ever have to compensate for the Earth spinning beneath them. Pilots treat the Earth as a level stationary plane. It doesn't matter whether you're going with or against the alleged spin, east or west. Flight times are no different in that respect. They may be different because of the winds that you face, tailwinds or headwinds, but at no point or time is a spinning Earth factored into flight plans. And the same goes whether you're traveling in a northerly or southerly direction. You don't aim for a destination that is going to come around to you or go away from you, depending on which direction you're going. You more or less go straight to that destination. So it really doesn't happen for pilots. Now, before we move on, let's just briefly clarify what the Coriolis effect is and how it can be demonstrated. It's often referred to as the Coriolis force, but really that's just a description of what we see happening depending on our point of view. And it's usually demonstrated by having two or more people on a rotating platform, just like a roundabout in a kid's playground. So you'll have two people opposite each other on this rotating platform, but if that platform is stationary, they can easily throw a ball back and forth to each other in a straight line. But once the platform is rotating and one person throws the ball to another opposite them, they will not be able to catch the ball if it's thrown in a straight line, because the person opposite will have rotated past the point that the ball has gone, or the direction that the ball was going. Now, with a little bit of practice, you can end up throwing the ball in a way that it does get caught by the person opposite. But that means not quite throwing it in a straight line, or throwing it in a way that will allow that person to catch it as they come around, rather than missing it because the ball was thrown in a straight line. And the point of view that we have of this scenario will give us these different effects that we see happening. So, for example, if you have a camera looking down at the people on the rotating platform, and the camera is fixed, but the platform is rotating freely beneath it, and one person throws the ball to the other, we'll see the ball travel in a straight line across the screen, but it won't meet the person that is on the opposite side of the rotating platform. And then if we have a camera that is fixed to the platform, looking down again, but it's rotating with the platform, then what we'll see appear to happen is that the ball will appear to curve as it goes through the air. In reality, it's going in a straight line, but because the camera is rotating with the platform, then the ball appears to curve as it goes through the air. Now, if you then take the perspective of one person sitting on the platform and they are ready to receive the ball, we see the same thing happen. The ball is being physically thrown in a straight line, but it appears to curve away from the person who's ready to catch it. So, okay, this is something that can be demonstrated as happening in the real world. We can see the Coriolis effect, or the Coriolis force in action. But if we then look at reality and we look at an aircraft going through the sky, either away from us or towards us or anything else like that, do we see that apparent Coriolis force or Coriolis effect? Do we see the object appearing to curve because we are on a rotating surface while that ballistic or the aircraft is going in a straight line? No, we don't see that. We see everything going in a straight line if it is traveling in a straight line. If something is curving, we'll see it curve, not because of any effect that is said to be happening to us on a rotating sphere. So if something's thrown or flown in a straight line, it will appear to fly and be thrown in a straight line to us, no matter where we are looking at it from. So we can see from this demonstration of the Coriolis effect or the Coriolis force that it doesn't fit with what we actually see happening in reality that is supposed to be happening to objects that are freely suspended above an alleged spinning Earth. Now, one thing we see happening in nature that is attributed to the Coriolis effect or the Coriolis force, because the Earth is said to be rotating, is the direction that winds go either side of the equator. We are told that because the Earth is rotating, winds do not travel in a straight line. They take curved paths. And so a cyclone or a hurricane north of the equator will veer off to the right, whereas those that are south of the equator will veer off to the left. But this isn't necessarily something that can be definitely attributed to the Earth rotating. We can get the same effect if we put an oar or our hand through water, and we'll see vortices occur on either side of the oar going in different directions. The same happens with aircraft wings. You might have seen an aircraft taking off, and you'll see vortices on either side, or the top side and the underside of the wing, and they are going in different directions. So really you are talking about something disturbing the air and creating these vortices either side of it. So of course on a level Earth with a local sun, you've got the sun taking its path around the equator, and so the change in temperature is what we know will cause winds to occur, so that as the sun rotates above the Earth around the equator, then that can be attributed to the winds traveling in opposite directions either side of the equator, just as we see the vortices with an oar or the wing of an aircraft. It's the same thing. So this is something that we can demonstrate in reality without having to have the Earth moving, or assume that the Earth is moving for that to happen. So I've been thinking about ways that we can test reality and see whether we're on a level Earth or one that's actually rotating. And so I've come up with this flat Earth versus globe Earth physics thought experiment, but also something that we can test in reality. And the question raised here is, which is measurably true according to demonstrable physics? And we have two options. One, we're on a level stationary Earth. That is our default reality. That's how we experience reality. Or number two, we're on a spherical Earth spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, and that is the heliocentric globe model, and all those different explanations we've just talked about. Now, some of you may contest number one and say, well, we could be on an Earth that is moving up at a constant speed in order to give us gravity, to give things weight. I'm open to entertaining that idea, got no problem with it, except for the fact that acceleration seems to be the only way that we can recreate the same effects as gravity, as something having weight in any given direction. If something's moving at a constant speed, I don't really see that that would be able to give us weight. So that's my only bone of contention with that theory, I suppose. We can't really go and test it. We can assume it, we can think about it, we can maybe model it if you like, but there's nothing we can really do to prove anything other than what we experience, and that is that we're on a level stationary Earth. So then let's first look at Isaac Newton's first law of motion, which is all about inertia, which basically says that an object at rest stays at rest, just like the coffee cup on the table or the table on the floor. It just stays there. It doesn't do anything. And the second part of that is that an object in motion at a constant speed in a straight line stays in motion with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an external force. And that is kind of true to an extent. Of course, you can throw your coffee cup and it will go in that direction, or you can fire a bullet or a rocket and it will go in that direction, but of course it will eventually come back down to Earth because of what we assume to be gravity. So, okay, there is something that makes that not constant, And let's just have a look at those examples of external forces. First of all, we've got friction or resistance, which slows the object. So, of course, if you roll a ball along the floor will eventually stop it from rolling. You've got friction. Or you throw something or drop something through the air, then you've got the resistance of the air itself. Now, when it comes to dropping things, of course, weight is talked about or described mathematically as acceleration. But when we drop something from a high height, it does eventually reach terminal velocity. Now, you could argue that this is because of the air resistance, but it's not something that we can test. So although weight is described as being acceleration, when something is actually falling through the air, it does reach a terminal velocity. So it doesn't accelerate forever. It just carries on at a consistent velocity until it obviously meets the floor. So there's a whole bunch of things to consider there. But then we have this next one. Something pushes the object in a different direction. So that's another example of this external force. So your hands or wind can push something in a different direction than what it was originally going. Okay, that's an external force. And then another example of an external force is an explosive force that accelerates the object in the same or a different direction, like a cannonball, a bullet, a rocket, or a jet engine. And okay, we've got these external forces which we know can change the direction that it was something was originally going. So let's have a look at when is the first law of motion true. Well, we can say that the results are the same whether we are stationary or moving at a constant linear velocity. So that's important that we differentiate from between linear and angular velocity, which we'll have a look at in a minute. So constant linear velocity basically means moving in a straight line with no change in speed and no acceleration or deacceleration. Okay, and yeah, so there's no change in direction either. That's constant linear velocity. So in conclusion there, we cannot feel or measure any difference between standing on a stationary surface or a surface that's moving in a single direction with a constant linear velocity. And for example, we could be jumping up and down on a stationary train, but then that train's moving and we can be jumping up and down on the moving train, and there really is no difference. We jump up in the air, the seats are not going to move away from us when we're on that moving train. So essentially we do indeed move with a train that is going in a straight line at a constant speed. Okay, so then when the first law of motion is false is when an object is moving with a spinning surface or container, and that is angular velocity. So it's ironic really that a lot of the time when someone is defending the globe, they will say, oh, well, imagine a train, imagine being on a train. And of course that's linear velocity. And they'll say that it doesn't matter whether you're moving or stationary, jumping up and down won't make any difference. And they are correct in that respect. But angular velocity is what's supposed to be happening with the spinning globe Earth. So making a comparison with linear velocity is not scientific, really, is it? Because what we should be experiencing is a change in angular velocity when it comes to being on a spherical Earth. All right. So then we could come to this. How can we test whether the Earth is moving or stationary? So I've come up with a method here to compare the results of jumping in 4 different scenarios on a platform with what we experience on the Earth itself. Okay, so here's what we know happens on Earth. Here's the action over here on the left and the result on the right. So if we're jumping up and down on the spot on the Earth, then the result is that we land in the same spot. Okay, so that's the same as being stationary or moving in a constant linear direction. Okay, and then the other action is running and jumping in any direction. So we get up some speed, and then what happens is we land in a different spot in the same direction. So
okay, ask him, all right, instead of jumping up and down on a train moving, ask him to jump up and down on one of those, you know, those circular things that rotate in the fairground. Stand right on the end there while it's rotating and jump up and down. I wonder if you're going to end up in the same spot.
So basically our momentum is conserved in that respect. Yeah, you do a running jump and okay, you will travel through the air and land somewhere else, but in the same direction that you were running. Now that external force could be created by a catapult, so we could be catapulted in any direction.
What a moron.
And in that case we would land far away from where we started in the same direction.
That's way too dodgy, man.
Is conserved. So these are very similar scenarios. It's just with the catapult, we've got that extra force pushing us externally.
He has to be on crack or something.
From these results, which
only a crackhead to do that,
can test any time, we can conclude that moving through the air in any direction is equal to the external directional force only. That's just simply what happens in reality, regardless of what you imagine reality to be. That's just the way it is, right? Moving through the air in any direction is equal to the external directional force only. And so let's think about an experiment to test whether Earth is moving or stationary. And let's go with this common argument that you must imagine yourself on a train. So we're talking about linear velocity rather than angular velocity at this conjecture. So we've basically got four different things that we could do here to test this. First, we could jump up and down on a stationary platform, see what happens. I think we know that we would just end up being in the same spot. And then number two, jump up and down on a moving platform that's moving at a linear velocity. So this could be a truck or something that is moving along at a certain speed, and we jump up and down and see what's happening. Is that any different to jumping up and down on a stationary platform? And then the third scenario is to run and jump forwards in the same direction and at the same speed as the moving platform. So you have a platform or a lorry, a truck moving or a train moving in one direction, and if you jump forwards in the same direction at the same speed, what happens? Do you cancel anything out? What happens to you? And then the fourth scenario is to run and jump backwards in the opposite direction and at the same speed as the moving platform. So let's say the platform is moving at 20 miles per hour. You go in the opposite direction at 20 miles per hour as well and see what happens. Now, some of these you might be able to imagine, some might be a little bit counterintuitive, but what we can do is just have a look at some videos to see these different scenarios, especially 3 and 4 here, and let's see what actually happens in those scenarios compared to what we actually have already confirmed and concluded happens in reality, where if we jump up and down on the spot or run and jump in any direction, we either land in the same spot or we land in a different spot in the same direction. Let's compare that reality that we know with these situations here. So in this first scenario, we have someone jumping up and down on a stationary trampoline. So this could be the same as our stationary Earth. And as you would predict, he's just coming down in the same spot because the platform or the Earth or the trampoline is not moving beneath him. In this one, the trampoline is being pulled along at a constant speed by a tractor. And as you can see, the guy is jumping up and down on the trampoline, but he's also traveling along at the same velocity as the tractor. So in this case, there really is no difference to jumping on a stationary trampoline or jumping on a moving Earth. You just go up and down and land in the same spot. And for the third scenario of someone jumping forwards on a moving platform in the same direction and at the same speed as the platform is moving, I couldn't find anyone actually doing a real demonstration, but according to the physics, this is what happens. Basically, you'll end up as a crumpled heap on the floor because you actually push yourself further and faster.
Basically did Neo in the air, the Matrix, and then died.
So you won't have a very comfortable landing. So if we just pause here and think about what's happening with the physics compared to the first scenario of being catapulted from a stationary position, it's basically the same. It's just that in this situation, jumping forwards from a moving platform, we don't gain much distance from it because we're not gaining much extra speed. But when we're on a stationary platform and then we are jettisoned forwards, then we'll go a greater distance. But essentially, we are accelerating from our original position and adding speed to it. So if we don't have water to land in to give us a soft landing, then we will hit the ground in a crumpled heap because our momentum has been conserved or perpetuated, and then we continue to travel forwards as we hit the ground. So it will definitely hurt in that respect. And the physics is basically the same, whether we are moving in a particular direction from a stationary position or from a moving platform and we're jumping forwards. And then for the fourth and final scenario, in which we have someone running and jumping in the opposite direction to which the moving platform is traveling and at a speed that's equal to the direction it's traveling. So you're basically cancelling out the speed that it's traveling by moving in the opposite direction at the same speed. We have a scenario that has been tested with real people on a moving platform, and the results are basically at whatever speed you're going. If you match that speed going backwards, in this case they're kind of jettisoning the person from a moving lorry, just like the catapult from a stationary position, but this time they're moving in the opposite direction to the moving platform at an equal speed, and they end up landing just as you would if you were jumping up and down on the spot. So they've cancelled out the speed in one direction by going the same speed in an opposite direction. So in this case, you don't end up in a crumpled heap like you do if you are catapulted from a stationary position, or if you jump off a moving truck in the same direction. So now, with all of these scenarios tested in reality, we no longer have to rely on compartmentalized explanations that contradict each other. We've got results from real-world experiments from which we can draw the conclusion as to whether we are on an Earth that is moving or stationary. So we had these four scenarios to start with, whether we were jumping up and down on a stationary or a moving platform, and then running and jumping forwards or backwards on a moving platform. And so we can then compare those to these scenarios for being on an Earth that is either moving or stationary. So in scenario one, we had jumping up and down on stationary Earth. So that was represented by the guy jumping up and down on a trampoline that wasn't moving. And the results, of course, were that there was no directional momentum. So he didn't get pushed anywhere. Nothing moved beneath his feet. He was just going up and down on the trampoline, landing in the same spot. Okay. And then for scenario two, jumping up and down on a moving Earth, and that would be with linear velocity or momentum. And that was represented by someone jumping on a trampoline that was being pulled by a truck. So there was linear momentum in that case. And the results there were that linear velocity / momentum is maintained. And it's basically the same as scenario one, being stationary. Okay, so from these two, you could argue one or the other is happening, but you can't really conclusively prove anything either way, can you? And then in scenario three, catapulted forwards. And so if that was on the Earth, it would be with spin or with the linear velocity of a moving Earth. And the results there were that actually you would get increased momentum in the same direction, and you would hit the ground hard. You might travel a shorter distance than if catapulted from a stationary platform, though. Okay, so that's being catapulted forwards as if we were going with the alleged spin of the Earth. And then we have scenario four, catapulted backwards against the spin or linear velocity of a moving Earth. And the results there were that the momentum was cancelled out. You basically safely land directly on the ground as if the Earth was stationary. So in these two scenarios 3 and 4, we've got a moving Earth or a moving platform, and then we are jumping in one direction or the other to see, and of course the results are different. All right. So in summary, on a moving Earth, we can say that speed and distance traveled through the air when jumping or being catapulted from the ground varies depending on the speed and direction that you're catapulted in. So we would say that accelerating with spin increases your velocity or momentum, and you would have a hard landing. And then if you were accelerating against the spin, that would cancel out the velocity or the momentum that you had, and it would give you a soft landing. Okay, so basically whichever direction you travel would dictate how the landing would be if you're on a moving Earth. All right. And then on a stationary Earth, the speed and the distance traveled through the air when jumping or being catapulted from the ground in any direction is always the same. Okay, so if the platform's not moving or the Earth is not moving, it doesn't matter which direction you jump in or you are thrown or flown in, then it's always the same. You get the same results. So in conclusion, the only conclusion here can be that the Earth is stationary, because in reality, the distance traveled when we jump, shoot, or fly in any direction is always relative to the external force exerted. The momentum/force is always maintained, and we will have a hard landing, yeah, which is very different to what would happen on a moving Earth. All right, there you go. Reality tells us. No scientific explanations required. No models need to be assumed. When you test reality, then it tells you that the Earth is a level stationary plane. Thank you very much.
Beautifully put, Nick. Awesome stuff.
Click subscribe and the bell icon if you'd like to receive notifications of new videos from Phuket Word.
It's about that time, guys. We've got to close it down. We'll do the outro. Went pretty quick. Didn't it go quick today?
The greatest form of control is where you think you're free when you're being fundamentally manipulated and dictated. One form of dictatorship is being in a prison cell and you can see the bars and touch it. The other one is sitting in a prison cell but you can't see the bar, you think you're free.
What the human race is suffering from is mass hypnosis. We are being hypnotized by people like this. Newsreaders, politicians, teachers, lecturers.
We are in a country and in a world that is being run by unbelievably sick people. The chasm between what we're told is going on and what is really going on is absolutely enormous.
It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit. What happened to the home of the brave? These motherfuckers, they controlling us now, and no one's talking about how they made us fight and be slaves. And everybody's just walking around, head in the clouds and won't awaken to a dead in the grave. By then it's too late, we need to be ready to raise up. Welcome to the end of days.
Everybody is slaves, only some are aware that the government releasing poison in the air. That's the reason I collect so many guns in my lair. I ain't never caught slipping, never underprepared. Yeah, they shade sign on me, they display it proudly. George Bush, the grandson of Alistair Crowley. They want you to believe the lie that the enemy Saudi. The enemy ain't Saudi, the enemy around me. It's fluoride in the water, but nobody know that. It's also a prominent ingredient in Prozac. For real? How could any government bestow that upon people who believe in political throwback? That's not all that I'm here to present you. I know about the Black Pope and Solomon's Temple. Yeah. About the Vatican assassins and how they will get you. And how they clone Barack Hussein Obama in a test tube.
It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit. What happened to the home of the brave? These motherfuckers, they controlling us now, and no one's talking about how they made us fight and be slaves.
Massive shout out to everybody that come in today. Huge don't trust it. Cheers, Charlie, Jax, Tarmo, Slow, Laura, Chev.
you think the motherfuckers that crashed in the tower? Who you think that made it turn into action in an hour? The same ones that invaded your own. The ones that never told you about the skeletons on the moon. Yeah.
Lev,
The poison or the food you consume.
Chills, everyone else I can't scroll up anymore. Awesome stuff, guys. Hey, Tommy as well. Tommy in the chat. Slow.
Cancer and it costs a lot of people their lives. Do y'all know about Bohemian Grove? How the world leaders sacrificing children in
Oh, Mouse. Can't forget Mouse. I didn't see you come in, Mouse.
You open up your ears and you listen.
Hope you're doing well, man.
We all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit what happened to the home of the brave. These motherfuckers, they controlling us now, and no one's talking about how they made us modern day slaves. And everybody's just walking around, head in the clouds, and won't awaken to a dead in the grave. But then it's too late, we need to be ready to raise up. Welcome to the end of days.
The greatest hypnotist on planet Earth is a oblong box in the corner of the room. It is constantly telling us what to believe is real.
If you can persuade them that what they see with their eyes is what there is to see, you got them. Because they'll laugh in the face of an explanation that portrays the bigger picture of what's happening. And they have.
"25 years I've been on the force. I've seen every kind of sick, depraved act known to humanity, and still, when I see a black man walk by who has more money than me, I want to vomit my gizzards right into the gutter. But why? Maybe there is no reason.
Yeah, the
Maybe there's just a big blue
welcome
ball
in.
out there that's mostly covered with water, and we're just going along for the ride."
DJ Ill Will.
Oh, this is Mo jiggling balls in your mouth all day, every day. Hey, you tuned in to Fuck What You Heard Radio, where you can stick a dick in your ear and shut the fuck up, bitch. But anyway, we got your new K-Dot record. I know you in traffic. Where you at, baby?
Down Rosecrans, 87 Regal, sipping on a gold can, gun tucked like the fetal position. Top dog coalition, coexisting with the coders, whoever quoted from California district. Been a corner like David Banner, I'm the owner of the marijuana aroma. You smelling, hit a donut, yelling, it's me, bitches. Who did it? I did it. Take them where they can't go. Like Planet Venus, leaning like a mad scientist. Laboratory bottles of empty Heineken, telling stories about the ones that came before me. Chinaman squinting inside because I'm blooded. Him, my shine is bigger than the striker lighting, and they liking him because I like to win. Never lose, put me on a pedestal. Bet I pedal victories until I pedal off my shoes. Welcome to the Lion's Room. Challenge anybody who wanna try they luck, they get fucked up, and all you heard was ooh. Say hello to the little big homie, and your reality ain't realer than this, homie.
I'm going to leave it on there. Last. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. I will see you Saturday, same time, 9:30 GMT, around that time, around 9:30, 10. Till then, take care. Have a great day.